I hate mosquitoes.
Oh, yeah.
I hate them so bad, and you don't have to deal with them.
Yep.
You could get a mosquito nix system like Tom did. You have like a series of tubing around your house, right?
Yeah, high-pressure hoses that run around my fence line, around the roof.
Yeah, I cheapened it by saying tubing. High-pressure hoses sounds a lot better.
Oh, it's misters. It's a misting system.
Oh, a bunch of men that stand around.
no. That mist the backyard with...
Like the video game mist.
Yeah. With an organic mosquito repellent that breaks down in like 10 seconds, so you don't have to worry about there being chemicals in your backyard. It's completely organic. It's like 10 times less than even like off that you would spray on yourself, you know?
Well, a lot of those things, read some articles about a lot of those type of...
speaking of that...
not good.
You don't have to spray your kids down with off every time they go in the backyard to play. You don't have to do it. You don't have to go light citronella candles. If you're
By the way, I've never noticed citronella candles to do anything. Look, I'm not hating. I love the smell.
Yeah.
I think they smell like, when I smell them, I get nostalgia.
Like camping, yeah.
It's just nostalgia. I go, oh, Florida, oh, we're outside. But the mosquitoes are still biting me like crazy.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, I've had mosquito nicks for 2 years now. My sons go out in the backyard and play. I never have to worry about mosquitoes. Now it hooks up to your app.
Yeah.
So
I've seen you do it. I've been over, and right before the kiddos go out on the little jungle gym out there,
you mist the backyard, gets rid of all the mosquitoes. They go out there and play. And it auto mists the backyard during peak mosquito hours. That way it creates a barrier around your house, and that way you never have mosquitoes.
I auto mist while I sleep too. It's disgusting.
They also sell a portable system. We have it on our merch page.
I have one on my balcony.
Yep. So it's mosquitonix.com. Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan.
So we're talking about like the snap-on tool chests or whatever, and how expensive they are because they're like pro grade.
And I'm always attracted to them though. Like if I walk into a hardware store or a home improvement store and there's one out, I will automatically walk to it. I think a lot of men are like that.
Yeah.
I'm driven to it.
You open the drawers.
Yeah, I go there. I'm like touching. It's weird. It's very weird. Same thing with drum sets.
And so there's a lot of things like this where they'll have some pro grade item that a lot of consumers buy because it's the nicest item that they make and most expensive because it's pro grade. For instance, like if you have pro grade drum storage boxes, I guess. What are they called? Like when you're a touring musician and you put your drums in cases, drum cases.
Like hard cases.
Cases. Like the best ones.
Travel cases, hard cases.
The best bands have are probably super expensive.
Yeah.
But they're built so that they can go from city to city and be banged around a million times, right?
Definitely.
That's why they're so expensive and so nice, because literally they make millions of miles of travel a year.
Sure.
And they need to hold up for it. But a rich guy will buy those same cases because they're the same cases that Tommy Lee has.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Even if he's gigging at Froggers, he's got the same cases just to go back to Oviedo.
Or not even moving his drums. He just bought the cases to store.
Just in case he ever decides to move
in case he ever gets a gig.
Yeah, I was one of those guys.
And I think
I knew one of those guys.
And are the snap-on tool chests, like, did they make those chests for like NASCAR mechanics so they can go from place to place and be durable, and then regular fat dads buy them just to put in their garage and open the drawer, put the wrench in, close the drawer? Like, they're not being moved because like they have wheels.
Yeah.
My one that my dad gave me, and he was a mechanic, so he he deserved to have them. Like, I just
real mechanics
keep rusty tools in there, but they have wheels on there. I've never moved them around my garage. They sit in the corner.
Yeah, but I think that's for like if you're actually going to move, like house to house or something, or you decide to reorganize your garage. That way, you're not trying to carry this giant chest.
She's right. There is a little bit of that is to like pull that tool chest over here,
right?
So
or something falls behind it, and you got to move it. It's impossible to move that heavy thing.
But I think the original purpose of the wheels were for some sort of commercial use, or
they didn't. Wheels are a new thing. Wheels on tool chests weren't added until American choppers, I believe.
It's just how many of those things they're built for a particular purpose, and they're expensive because
we get a lot of our stuff from the military, right? I mean, it's the same sort of concept.
Yeah, I guess. Well,
It's like-
technology, I guess.
We get a lot of technology and a lot of things that we use day to day that, like especially in here with our broadcasting equipment, a lot of this, I guess, would have been older military technology from back in the day. And now we just, use it.
It's just like if you are just a regular dad and you want some nice tool chest, the full height, like 6 foot
I can't even
snap-on
reach the
tool
top of
chest,
mine.
is overkill. There's no need. You don't need that to store your tools.
Well, I have some
it's just
drawers
aesthetics, right?
that I don't have enough tools to. You know what I'm saying? Like I have the tool chest. I don't even have enough tools. I'm still buying tools. Like I just bought a socket set. I don't know, a couple of weeks ago.
Sam, is there any stereotypical girl things?
Caboodle.
Yes, caboodles.
I guess that makeup, like professional
Makeup cases.
Sorry, I didn't mean to answer that for you.
Because, like,
I am
a
the
caboodle
girl.
isn't a professional makeup case, but yes.
I am the girl of the show.
But like, I bet you like
You do paint your nails and stuff.
the makeup artists that
I do.
work for TV and Hollywood or whatever, they need that crazy case that folds out.
And the brushes, like that stuff is expensive.
Dude, those brushes are stupid expensive.
I never wore makeup, so never got into that world or anything. But when you look at some of the price, you go into one like a Mac or something like that. It's insane. I'm like, I don't know how these people afford this.
You can. All you got to do is fill out that form on the Mac website and get yourself an influencer discount because you are on TV every single day, sister.
I should do that. But then I got to put the makeup on, and I don't know how to do that.
Well, Andrea can help you. That's what Andrea does. She uses the old, my wife is organized and scams crazy. It's not really a scam if you're organized. I don't know how to say that correctly.
But there is something to be said.
Influencer discount.
Like, there are expensive things that are better quality that actually work better for you. But what I'm saying is, like, there's things that people buy that are the best quality, but not for the intended purpose of what you're doing it for. So it's almost a waste. Because,
I'll tell you why my dad got me that. I didn't need that, but he got me that because it was impressive.
Yeah. It's a status thing for
a status
Florida.
Thing. He gifted his son a full tool. I mean, that's a cool gift, right?
Yeah.
I freaked out when I got that. I was like, "Oh my god, Dad, thank you. That's really neat."
Yeah. But
and it's huge and it's metal and it's. Do I need it? Never.
Yeah.
I will never need that.
I
don't have enough tools to even fill it up now. Like all of the tools that I have are really good tools would fit on a very small workbench. You know, like a saw, some good hammers, some good screwdriver sets, some socket wrenches, a lot of Allen wrenches.
You know what's a perfect example of this that you'll know from like people in podcasts and like at-home media stuff, they do this where they buy this pro-grade equipment that there's no point in it, right?
Well,
or the crazy mics where you're like, you don't need a $700 mic.
Right.
Yeah,
we don't use that.
It sounds just like the $100 mic.
Well, they'll buy a $700 mic and then not know how to mix or record their show, and then it just sounds like crap. And they're like, why? Well, it's not the mic. Don't blame the mic.
She is correct. I see that a lot of people buying, like, they'll buy preamps and they'll buy, like, compressors.
They got a whole rack.
Yeah, they're
What the
running
hell?
everything rack mounted, and I'm like, oh my god, I don't know if you need that. Like, we don't use it.
You don't need it,
And
no.
people say like, oh, you guys sound really good. I go, well, thank you. I mean, it really is just we're lean, man. We're running a Focusrite. You can get that for about $100, and this one we upgraded. It's about $170. This is second. This was bought from a guy in Minnesota. That was another $100.
Yeah, you're pointing at a giant dildo.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that.
That's what keeps us going.
Yeah.
Every time the conversation takes a lull, all I have
That's
to
another
do
thing.
is,
People, and I think for a while there, like people decided they wanted to become photographers or like take up photography as a hobby, and then they bought all these really expensive cameras and had no idea what the hell they were doing with them.
I'm one of those guys. Yeah, I've done that before. Where you
but you still have the camera.
you get in over your head,
But you'll take the time to research, and you want it.
I will
Like,
take the time.
Most people won't, though.
Or if I
it'd
can't
be
figure it out,
me.
it's not working for me. Remember, I kept the box and everything's pristine. I'll just
they
flip
do
it.
Instagram photo shoots for their friends.
I'll
and
just
that's
flip
it.
Yeah. So
I think the number one thing we may be missing though would be car, right?
I mean, I see a lot of 4x4 trucks that have never gone off road one time, and not that you don't. And you could like a big truck.
like
I don't
what
go
you
off road. I have a big truck. I like it because I could tow
I
things.
like trucks.
I still like trucks. Some of my best friends enjoy their truck.
But I'm talking about specifically a 4x4 like jacked up truck with big wheels. Just the 4x4 part. If you never go off road, you do not need 4-wheel drive for anything.
No,
I guess maybe for towing, if you know. But if you don't, but people have those trucks and they don't tow anything either.
They just have them because they like the way they look.
Yeah, and they want a 4x4 truck.
Yeah,
complete waste of time and money.
Wow. The big, like the big, like diesels.
They eat gas.
Yeah.
Yeah. People drive around dualies and don't tow anything because
I
just
see
like a giant.
There's a lot of ladies around here that will drive around a dually, like a big dually truck, and you can tell that their truck is like just what their family vibe like. They like big American vehicles, and I'm not hating them. Just saying you can tell they like it, and I see them driving around here all the time. And what is amazing about it is they whip those dualies around like a tiny car. I'm still not even used to driving my SUV.
To bring it back to, what we've been bringing up the past couple of weeks, boats. There's a lot of people that they fantasize about this boat. They get it. They take it out 2 times, and then they never take it out again.
Seth did it. His boat is so unreasonable.
And he hasn't been on it, has he?
That's an unreasonable
He doesn't know how to drive it.
Well, then what the hell?
I know.
Nowhere to store it. Doesn't know how to drive it.
He said he's driving it this Friday.
Oh, buddy.
And
He's got to call in.
He wanted me to take off. He's like, take off work and teach me how to drive this thing.
Just do it on a Saturday. Why you got to take off work?
He's selfish.
Because he does his karate on the weekends.
So he wants him to take a day off of his job, but not his own. Yeah.
Also, I'm like,
you don't need to be there. Have some
what do I know?
Yeah.
Yeah, just YouTube it. Figure it out, dum-dum.
That's the one thing, though, YouTube won't teach you. Like, you can learn everything. You can learn how to, like...
he needs to play a boat simulator.
You could take off, like, bearings and learn how to change your bearings and all this other stuff to YouTube. Like, actually taking your boat off the trailer and, like, putting it back on and, like, negotiating your boat, especially to and from the dock. That's where it's just an insane amount of practice, right? There's no substitution for practice.
Yeah, I think it's just like
I can't
up.
Happening to you now. Do you guys both have the Rona? What's happening?
Okay, I was hiding it.
I knew it.
You guys all have it now. I'm sorry.
That's
fine.
I guess we have to quarantine here now.
Prank wars.
24/7 streaming.
What happened the day where you do 24 hours of radio and you play?
You're all loopy.
Who wanted that? Nobody.
And then at the end of the day, though, you would go to Applebee's with your wife afterwards, and you're delirious. But man, you would act like you actually accomplished something. You'd act like people were. What you were doing meant something for the community. No one cared.
Nobody.
We just broadcast for 24. No one cares.
Why?
No one cares.
Also, hour number 2 was horrible. Because you couldn't.
Tired,
you didn't have enough to fill out hour number 1.
You know what we should do? Because you know where I stand on this, I just think it'd be funny. I think if we do, in fact, and everything is pointing that we will, Mike from Mike's weather page, spaghettymodels.com, is pretty adamant about it being a relatively active season. For one of the hurricanes, we got to get in here and hunker down and do a live breaking hurricane show. The whole hurricane.
But we released it as a podcast after the hurricane.
When it's all done.
We're going to it. There's ice here. A tree fell down on Colonial.
Let's check in at Colonial. We got
funny.
Butler, what's it like out there?
Hey guys, I'm standing out here outside of Kabuki Sushi at Colonial. Man, it's a blowing.
And then we'll go, oh man, we'll check back in a little bit.
Yeah. And then we just release it for download 2 days later. So you have something to listen to while you're cleaning up your yard.
While your power's out.
Just save it and then release it at a way later date. That's best of.
Yes.
Just like when nobody knows. It's like we're going on vacation, we do a hurricane show. People are like, oh my, there's a
hurricane? Yeah.
Oh no, this one's 2019, man. It's a different time. They didn't even wear masks then.
The best of Hurricane Charlie.
Let's start doing the best of her. That's so disrespectful too.
My dad died of a hurricane, so I can say it.
That's right.
It's like the N-word.
It is.
I mean, you know what I mean. I can't say that, but
no.
It's like the same concept.
Oh, let's keep going.
All right.
We got a couple more minutes.
Oh, okay.
Put your head on
I
the
want
desk.
to end with the N-word. Sorry.
Wow.
No, the end word.
Mm-hmm.
Get your mind out of the gutter. I'll do one more voicemail. Let's try. This one is a joke, I believe.
I love when the listeners tell us jokes.
Hey guys, love the show. I think I thought up another good rich man, poor man. Having multiple air conditioners in your house. I had a boss with 5 different air conditioners on his house because it was so big. But I also have a friend who owns a trailer, and he's got 3 or 4 air conditioners, one in each room.
Well, no.
SFT.
Yeah,
different types of air conditioners.
but that is
though.
rich
Window
man, poor
units
man.
aren't quite the same.
He's right, though. That is one of those rich man, poor man.
Yeah, multiple ACs is true.
Because rich people and poor people are the only people that have multiple cars. You know, Johnny middle class, he has one car. He and his wife, they each have a car. But I know some poor people that their front yard, and they're all running. They have like 7 cars.
Yeah.
I mean, you have 7 cars. They're all crap. They're really bad.
Yeah.
But he has 7 cars. I know rich people have like 6, 7 cars.
He's got a truck, an old F-150
motorcycle
for his dump trailer.
Yeah.
Then he's got his wife's car. Then he's got his regular small Isuzu truck.
Then he has the one that's his work project where he's trying to
revamp
a
race
Honda.
car.
Yeah.
I'm still my favorite though, and I saw one yesterday that I tried to snap a photo of is Puerto Rican mother driving teen son who's in jail's small Honda lowered with street glow. She doesn't know how to turn the street glow off. It's running during the
shocker
day.
Sticker on the back.
Shocker sticker. It's got all the Puerto Rican. All over. Yeah, it's all, and she's driving it like
the wheels are sideways.
The wheels are sideways, and she's driving it with her mask on, going to get a COVID test. That's my favorite. It's my favorite.
She got the loud.
It's loud.
It's that loud. All right. Bye.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha's here. Butler's here.
So what are you talking about, sleeping nude?
Well, my wife, she is a okay, we're getting a new bed. This is where this topic of conversation came up.
Yeah.
And we're getting one of those beds where you can control
the temperature, like the self-cooling?
The different sides
I want that.
of the bed.
Yes.
She can have it the way she wants it. I can have it the way I want it.
Oh, that's nice.
It is nice. And this all stems from the fact that, and I know you guys used to clown on me, but the Swedes kind of started this, but my wife and I sleep with separate blanks, separate blankies, separate comforters.
Yeah.
I have a sheet and a blanket that is my sheet and blanket. She has a blanket. She does not want the sheet. She has a blanket that is hers.
Yeah, normally I would poo-poo on,
you want to yuck on my yum.
You have separate bank accounts. I yell at you about all this stuff. But the separate blankets...
Separate, but equal.
I can get behind.
Yeah,
I can get behind
blankets.
because it doesn't make any sense. We use one blanket that we're constantly tugging on, because let's be honest. After a while of being married...
Spoon?
Hell no.
No spooning going on?
I mean, she wants me to, and then...
My wife doesn't want it because my wife's a hot sleeper. It has nothing to do with the level of love that she has for me or the fact that I want to bang her. I do all the time. There's just she is a hot sleeper. She don't want me on her.
I'll cuddle with her or rub her back. She wants me to tickle her back, so I'll just hold my hand, and my hand will be numb. I'll be brushing her back.
Andrea makes me do that. I feel like it's the necessary back tickles I got to get something
Dude,
to
you
happen.
have a tickler right next to you from Fairville. Bring that home.
I'm not bringing that home. I don't want anybody to see that.
French tickler.
My sons will see that, and then
a French tickler. They'll start whipping each other's faces with it.
But they'll once they're adult, they'll see one of these and be like, "Oh, my mom and dad used to have this." I'm like, "Yeah,
that's tickle stick."
Yeah, all just because of my hand.
Parents have sex.
Yeah, but
not that kind of sex.
Yeah.
And you don't even want to think about it. You
don't want to think about it.
I'm disgusted the fact that I now know why my dad had mirrors on the top of his bed of his old 80s bed. It makes me want to barf.
I know your mom, and it bothers me too.
Yeah. So I'm like,
I don't know why it
so
does.
Weird.
Who wants to think of their parents? It's
nobody wants to
disgusting.
think about
I
that.
don't want to think about it, but it's also it happens. They do it. It's fine.
Well, it I knew it happened because it's scientifically impossible not to.
Right.
But
the odd thing I
don't want to know that they like it, or there's some mirror up there, or I got a tickler or a bee plug or whatever.
You don't want any of that.
No mirrors,
I don't
see
ticklers,
nothing.
no bee plugs, none of that. What I was trying to
Don't
figure
ask,
out,
don't tell.
If I were laying on the bed while my mom and dad were on the bed and there was a mirror on the ceiling, would my mom's bush come out the sides? Like, could I see it?
Like, you see it from the front, the back.
Right. If you can see it from the back, there's a problem. It's like Buzz Lightyear's wings.
Bush so big, I can see it from the back.
Wow.
Did you? Yes. Anyway, why were we talking about that?
Oh, sleeping naked.
Oh, yes. Thank you. So my wife is a, you know what I just did? I was like, I woke up like, where am I? My wife, she is a very warm sleeper. I believe that I'm dying because at night when I get into bed, I get very cold, like Game of Thrones, the Ice Emperor. And I start to, that's your body dying, I feel like. That's like Raynaud's disease. Yeah. There's the bad circulation in me.
Yeah. It's like my pop-up. I used to come, he's watching boxing with a blanket over his knees, and it's 88 degrees inside the house, and I'm like, why is you have a blanket on, and why is the boxing on so loud? I'm screaming at you.
Loud and hot.
Well, your body is failing you.
You can't hear.
I get loud and hot. No, so
is that circulation or something?
It is circulation. So I have a sheet, I have a microfiber blanket, and then I have another microfiber blanket just on my feet.
Too many blankets.
And then my wife just has one microfiber blanket. So she gets up, and I see her going into the bathroom, and she is walking into the bathroom, and she just has on panties, and I'm like, whoa, would you sleep like that? Because she never sleeps like that. She's like, yeah, I got hot. And I go, well, why do you have panties on? Why don't you just sleep naked?
Right.
And there's something about with her, she needs to have the line of protection from her genitals to the sheets. And
that's the time you're supposed to go bottomless.
I think
in bed.
That's what I say.
Got to air that thing out at night.
That's what I say, and I think it's weird, but there's just something about her where I think she feels more secure that way.
Do your dogs sleep on your bed?
Yes, one of them does. Okay. Only Maggie does.
When we used to have Lena, because Crystal was the same way, and Lena used to not only sleep on top of our bed, but under the covers, like by Crystal's feet and stuff. Like Lena would snuggle with her at night. It was the weirdest thing in the world. When I'm like, what the hell is this dog doing? Like when Crystal would go to bed, she would lift up the blanket, and Lena would crawl under the blanket and then lay down in the crevice between her knees.
Yeah, my dog used to do that. We used to let him sleep in the bed with us.
And then she would wiggle her snoot out.
They wiggle their snoot out, so they're tucked for warmth with their snoot. They get maximum air.
Yeah. I think if the snoot is uncovered, it cools their body down. I think there's
all their heat.
There's some snoot science there.
Well, all of their heat is snoop operative. It's only in the snoot.
It's like a fox taking one of those little cotton balls or whatever to get in the river, so all the fleas climb on.
The hell are you talking about?
That happens.
He's having a stroke.
This guy took Jesse's acid. He just took Jesse's acid. He lost his mind.
Oh my god!
Like a fox will take a.
What does the fox say?
What a reference.
They'll climb in a river.
I don't know.
And then they'll hold on with their teeth to some sort of fur ball or something, and all the fleas will jump, everybody escaping the water, and get onto the fur ball.
I've never heard of this.
Yeah,
That's fascinating.
I have no idea.
And then they'll spit the fur ball out.
That is fascinating.
That
is a smart-ass
What are you
fox.
watching, Wild America over there,
That is good. Mike, I wouldn't even
They'll do that in the wild.
That's genius.
Anyway. They put the snoot out, so the cold.
Caesar does that. He has a little bed we bought him at Big Lots, and he gets in it, he makes a nest, and then it's near the wall, so he'll tuck in, and then his nose will just peek out just a little bit.
So anyway, back to the animals. And if you have animals, they shed. There's dog hair. There's dog sand. There's dog.
We don't have the sand. It's different.
Whatever. Yeah, and
it's
different. I'm just saying,
different.
Dog debris. Then all animals.
We don't really have dog debris. You would always talk about dog debris and sand.
Well, we had a way.
It was a larger dog, right? That's a big boy dog. That's a medium to large size dog. But these are pee-pee dogs.
I think even the pee-pee dogs, they have some sort of.
And they'll be sneezing under there.
Yeah. They're even if they don't shed, they
do a lot of that. They do a lot of that.
there's like dead skin, dog, animal stuff. And then so it's like, Andrea doesn't want, she needs some sort of protection with the animal stuff.
You know what? That makes a lot of sense.
Crystal would never sleep naked too. I mean, ours was to the point where it's like I need full-on fisherman waders because our bed is disgusting. And I'm saying when Lena, because those sand and Lena's oil, she had a butt oil problem. She had all, and she was, dying slowly, so she was falling apart and sleeping in our bed. Old dying dog.
The anal gland.
Yeah, the anal gland, and so I don't want to put my feet down there either.
My feet are fine down there. I don't want to put anything else down there.
Maybe I'm team no animal. Like I was.
Are you?
I think he is because they can just.
Crystal wants one bad, but
they can just go and do trips now, and I'm jealous. I mean, this became like a bit of a thing in my household. I'm PP Dog Central, dude, and I love them, but I don't have the freedom you have. Yeah. I don't have the freedom just to take my family and just go and do something because now I got to find somebody to watch these goddamn PP dogs. Which, by the way, Maggie, who I do love, and it's the only and lasting connection I have to my parents who are both deceased, is literally peeing everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Caesar's fine. He occasionally Caesar will party too hard, and what I mean by that, like he'll eat his bowl of food too fast. And then maybe he'll get a stinger, belly stinger, and then he'll fall asleep and he'll pee.
Yeah.
Maybe once a year, but just once a year. But Maggie is out of control.
Yeah. And older dogs, they become incontinent sometimes, and then they start pee-peeing everywhere. Anyway, I went to the beach this weekend, and me and Crystal were like, that just set the alarm and get the hell, got in the car and drove away. Awesome. And there was nothing,
that's the way to do it.
And
it's the way to do it. But you will live an extremely lonely life.
Well, I got the kids. I don't even know the stinking dog.
Yeah, but they hate you. The dogs will love you. That's the reason I love my dogs.
No, Tommy. That's what I got. Tommy will love me. I don't listen. It's just like kids when we tell Samantha, Team No Kids. I won't know. I do know because I had Lena. Seemed like a pain in the ass. It was dying in my bed.
No, I just told you not even a minute ago that you're doing it right.
Poo poo, pee pee.
It's definitely better, but I mean they both have their pros and cons, but I think right now you guys are going to benefit more from not having something you got to watch all the time. It's not fun.
But then it's like the kids don't have that quintessential dog growing up that most kids have.
Do, though.
Not everybody can be the same, I mean, that one to me, I don't know.
It's like we all had, like Crystal had animals growing up. I had animals growing up. Like most of all my friends had animals. You live in Florida.
Get them an exotic animal.
Half
Don't get
your
them
family lives on your street. They all got a zoo over there.
Yeah,
Why don't you just bring them over there to visit the animals?
Yeah, they do. And they're like skittish around them a little bit because they're not used to being around animals. And Crystal says, "See, like they're like nervous around animals." I'm like,
maybe
good.
You're screaming at them about being nervous.
You want them to be Steve Earle? Like what?
Too soon.
But I was like, what is the benefit of them? Like, all right, they're a little standoffish with dogs because they're not around dogs all the time.
You just don't want them to be like that one member of my family that I have that goes to like a Valentine's Day party and bursts out into tears when a poodle just puts a hand.
That's ridiculous. That's over. I don't think they'll get like that.
I don't think so either.
They're just like they're a little standoffish because they're not used to dogs, but they don't run and cry. I wouldn't let them do that. I'll hold them down and let the dog
bite their face off.
Maul
him good.
But it seems like Team No Dog.
I try to get her though, because she'll wear going back to sleeping naked.
Mm-hmm.
Like she will wear pajama pants, but still have panties on under the.
It's too much.
Right.
Night.
I think it's too hot, and I'm like, that's too hot. You need to do, but it's just a comfortability thing. I think to her, it's just like it'd be no different than like my dad couldn't wear a dress shirt without having a V-neck. Like Hanes white T-shirt underneath it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he would never do it if he didn't have a white Hanes V-neck T-shirt.
He wouldn't be comfortable.
He wouldn't put his. He'd just be like, "Well, I gotta wash some before." He'd have to wash some before he goes out.
How does the bed cool itself? Like, what is it? Does it circulate air?
I think it does. Yeah, I think it circulates air.
Like air conditioned seats. Does that have pores?
Yeah, it's got pores. It's porous, and it
I need one of those.
And it pumps air through. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. And then there's like sheets that are supposed to like aid with that and be more like wicking or I don't know. Look, no idea.
If you got the air holes,
I got the air holes.
Like coming through like those air conditioned seats, because I've sat in cars.
I got the
AC
one. It
seats,
warms your
nice.
it warms your feet. Like you time it. You put it on a timer, and supposedly if you warm your feet, like as you're getting tired, it'll put you to sleep like really good. Like that's the science is like the foot warmth like makes your body start pumping some sort of chemical.
Yeah.
You, like,
Crystal sleeps with socks.
Right.
And she swears by it every night.
Andrea
she can't sleep
too.
without socks.
Andrea does too, and I hate it. You know, there's nothing worse than pumping your wife when she's still got socks on, but she's completely naked. I hate it. And they're novelty socks. They're like raw
Thigh
socks.
highs?
No, they're like raw socks. They're like the fun socks I like to wear. They're like,
socks.
oh look, avocado toast socks. My wife, I'm pumping my wife. She's got avocado toast socks on. I hate it. Take those off. We're not children. But
Have her
anyway,
wear thigh highs, sexier.
there is science to it, and this bed will warm your feet gently. Like you put it on a timer, so like if my bedtime's like 10:30, it'll start warming your feet, and then if
That's nice, yeah. Because sometimes like I'll get super high before I go to sleep, and then my extremities will get cold.
That's what happens to me.
I feel
maybe that's what I'm doing.
I'm like, am I dying? Because I feel like
this is what you're describing it.
My hands and feet
You're describing-
are as cold as a block of ice.
That's what. Okay, then we're doing the same thing. Well,
Yeah,
help
yeah.
me with this. What is that? Then it's not my
I
circulation.
don't know. It's called too high, being too high.
There's no such thing as that.
No, I know. Well, I don't know. I'm just saying it happens the most. And then I remember one night, Chris was like, "Put socks on. Why are you so cold?" I don't want to tell her like I'm so high. Somehow
I'm too high for socks.
my brain has made my feet cold because I'm too high. And then I put socks on. Then I woke up in the middle of the night. And I was like,
There is a thing called weed chills, where it feels
Ooh,
like
I want a weed chills. Where do I buy
what
these?
makes
So what
you
we got?
feel like you're getting you get like chills and you get really cold.
Oh, I thought this was a product I could buy.
No.
I'll be like, give me 3 weed
It is
chills.
What is that?
I don't know why it does it, but yeah, it's a thing.
Well, it's a good thing. Well, then I should get my wife on it, and then
There
she
you
won't
go.
be hot
"No,
at night.
she's a nerd. She'll never do weed."
I know. She won't do anything.
What if you? Okay.
What if I sneak it into her food?
Well, what if you gave her like a brownie
Yeah.
that had weed in it, right? And you didn't tell her.
Dude,
like,
she
Oh, by the way, she made
How
brownies.
much would
she
you
made
freak
brownies
out?
this weekend, but from scratch, not from a box. Like
Yeah.
she made them with like real cocoa, and like from like here are the ingredients, and she sifted. Oh my God, they're amazing.
Oh, yeah.
I can only imagine if you added marijuana to that, how would they be even more amazing?
well, you've just, I mean, it'd be the same taste. It's just then you're high after, extremely high.
This would be bad for her. She'd very freak out and start crying.
We should just start crying.
I think she would start
Yeah,
crying.
yeah.
She starts crying at everything.
We should go to the hospital. We should
Yeah,
probably go to the
she'd make me go. She's like, he did this. I'm at the hospital because of him. And I'd be like, don't worry.
You
I've
couldn't
got my
talk her out of
medical
it, right?
card, and if I seem weird right now, it's just have the weed chills. If I seem cool, if you guys are looking at me, you think I look cool, it's because I have the weed chills.
Because one of my favorite things to hear about are people going to the
I know.
hospital because they got too high. Like
It's
it makes me laugh.
Especially now, because you're risking getting COVID to tell people you got the damn weed chills.
Because nothing's
Yeah.
going to happen to you,
In
but
fact,
you're just
right
so paranoid and
Right now,
having a
you
panic attack.
This isn't. Look, nobody listens to this show for like advice on how to live your life better. Okay, let me just preface that by saying this.
Yeah.
But right now would be the worst time to go to the hospital because you overdosed on marijuana.
Yeah.
Somebody should hold you down. Right?
I don't think they'd even let you in.
No, they'll
laugh
send
you
you
out.
out-
They should laugh you out of there. They should say, "Look, just call an Uber. You shouldn't be driving." Right? I think we can all agree. Don't drive impaired.
Yeah, that's
I think we all-
Correct.
that's
Yeah.
more
I think we all know
dangerous than you
Absolutely.
having weed chills. Yeah.
Exactly.
Nothing will happen to you.
You shouldn't die. You shouldn't drive impaired on anything, whether it's prescription medication, whether it's alcohol, whether it's caffeine,
Apparently,
grief.
THC lowers your internal body temperature and it causes the body to stop producing heat, which can contribute to cold hands or cold feet.
That's
after
what I got.
smoking Marijuana.
Okay, then I feel
It
a lot
lowers your
better.
body temperature.
Yes.
See, I feel
lowers
a
your
lot
internal
better.
body temperature. Not like a lot. Like
Just
it's not, right.
just a 1 degree
And
or whatever,
I-
and then you get cold. Your hands.
Thank you, Dr. Sam. I will tell you, I was going to go to my doctor.
I was in a weed group and someone had mentioned that before and I'd never heard of it, but I was like, I do get cold sometimes after I partake, and then I looked into it and it's a thing.
I did the math and I was like, "Yep, this is
They call
happening."
it,
I never
they call
looked
it
into it.
THC-induced hypothermia, but it's not like dangerous.
they're dangerous.
Yeah.
You just feel cold.
Well, then, okay, follow me on this. If there's no danger, then change the goddamn name because hypothermia can kill you.
Weed chills, bro.
No, I'm just saying they always do that. They're like,
Yeah.
Well, the
you
medical
have,
name-
and apparently you have lupus, but it's the lupus that makes you incredibly wealthy and attractive. Like, don't do that. Make it a different name.
You have weed cancer. Like what?
Don't worry, it just makes your feet very cold. Stupid, man. It's just very, very... Well, see, thank you, Sam. That makes me feel better. That makes me feel a lot better. Now, I won't mention it to my doctor. Would you like to continue doing some voicemail messages?
Yeah.
All right, let's do these. I got a bunch. This one, it was kind of tying into was something we were talking about. Remember when? Well, here, just listen.
Hey guys, BDM Justin here. Now, I was giving you a call. You know, the degradation of the youth of the world. Everybody's like, oh, it's TikTok, it's social media, YouTube, yada, yada, yada. I propose to you that is not the situation. The first example and the source of people having no grit and lacking the ability to operate in society comes down to the youth of America having these large trucks and constantly being unable to park them straight in. I don't know about you, but as a young man, I had a F-150, and if I had to back it in, I knew that my day was ruined. I obviously didn't know how to drive. I wasn't able to pull in. I had to back in because I lacked the skills necessary to operate a vehicle and to operate within real man's life.
So is he saying that nobody in his family taught him how to drive a larger vehicle?
Well,
I used to be better at it. When my dad had only larger vehicles, like we had Suburbans, we had a regular old school Bronco.
So you get to practice on the bigger stuff.
Yeah, well, it's what I learned to drive on. I learned to drive in a Suburban. So there was a point in time in my younger life when driving a Suburban, a LeSabre, a GMC Jimmy, a Bronco. I'm trying to think of the other vehicles we had. An Expedition. I was better at it. It was the only vehicles we had. You know, we had the camper, we had the boat.
I think that's what he's saying is that growing up he didn't have that. So then, like we were saying, the people that get these like off-road trucks and they
don't know how to drive them. Yeah.
I see that a lot.
Boat.
I see that a lot. You know what I see a lot?
You have money. You want a giant Chevy Silverado, dude. Like
I don't see. I want tiny, fast. Like I like little, fast, zippy little sporty cars. Right? Like those are the ones. I mean, to each his own, but I'm just saying, like, if I were rich, give me the tiniest, fastest.
I think it's more of like maybe you live not in the city and you want that quintessential.
I see a lot of big trucks. That's a Florida thing.
Yeah. Like you want to show off with your big truck. Like I'm with you. I was down in Miami, so it was all like I had a mini truck. I'm like,
mini trucks are cool. They're back now too.
But it's like no one really wanted the quintessential big truck. I mean, there's a few big trucks, but very limited. It just Miami.
Wasn't the culture.
Yeah.
You know what
I'm sure here there's a whole culture of like having jacked up big trucks.
No.
And your rich parents bought you, right? You can't drive.
One of the things lately that I've been doing is going into car forums and stuff like that. I'm trying to find like better places of social media where it's fun,
not a hellhole.
where it's not a hellhole.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I think is really fun to watch is watching car culture that involves the same car but different. Like adamantly different polarizing views on what they should do with the car. Like guy who has the new, probably the hottest SUV in the world right now is that new Bronco that I'll probably never see mine. But there was a guy that he delivered his brand new 4-door Bronco. This car hadn't been made in 50 years or something like that.
Yeah,
it's the hottest SUV in the market. And this guy is more of as Tom would say, like a thugster. This guy likes his rap. And he went down that vein, and he turned his car into his dream car and put the tiny little, almost like impossible to pop thin wheels on the biggest rims. Like, do what you want. It's your car, but just watching
He money trucked
it. And then you watch all of the old men who saw what he did to it just melting down. Oh, it's so fun. It's a very fun read. It's a very fun read.
You do the opposite, and then you put a snorkel and jack it up, and you know what I'm saying is
right.
Opposite sides of the
Both
spectrum.
are going to Walmart.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what's unfair.
That should be the tagline. Both are going to Walmart.
They are. I mean, you see the guy who's in there, like you said, Snorkel Johnny, who's like, I would never run. That is impractical. It's like, dude, you've never taken your Jeep off-road ever. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. It's and that's what most people when they spend a lot of money on aftermarket parts and things like that to make their truck or car or whatever look nice, most likely they don't want to jeopardize that by putting it through. It's like there's a
Why
reason,
would you?
like those when they do like hydraulic competitions or whatever, and they're bouncing the car as high as it can go. There's a reason why those cars are usually just literally the shell.
Yeah.
First of lightweight or whatever, but it's like also they bounce them until the shocks or whatever explode off. You're using junk cars for that purpose. You're not going to use your show car to knock $1,000 worth of chrome screws that you bought off. You you take care of that.
We got to take a break.
We got to get out of here.
Oh, we got to get out of here. So I guess we're going to say bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha's here. Butler's here. And in the fish tank today, sir, we have a sea carrot.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it's bright orange, and it looks like, I think most fishermen would call it coral. I have no idea what it is. It looks like. Can we see it if I put it up on the? We're live on Twitch right now. Twitch.tv.
I think it's just off camera.
Yeah,
Tom and Dan Live. Twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live. You can see everything, but I don't think you can see our sea carrot.
Oh, yeah.
Can I reach in there and just move it?
I think it's glued to the fake rock.
It appears that the professional fishermen used like polydent.
Oh,
like for dentures?
I think they use polydent, and he puts a polydent on there, and he puts a carrot on top of it, and he's like, a masterpiece. I don't know. But anyway, we got all kinds of crazy stuff in there, and you can watch us live Monday through Friday. I am billing us as Orlando's strongest stream.
All right.
Because, the kids don't call it video, and they don't call it, hey, watch us on the video. No. We're streamers, man.
Stream us, bro.
We're streamers, dude. You can stream us all day long, bro.
So we get a billboard and just promote the Twitch stream. I like that. I like that.
But kids don't drive anymore.
No.
Well,
I'm going to be confusing a bunch of old ladies.
That's fun
what
too.
Is that?
Confusing old ladies is fun too. Sometimes I just lie to old people that are being genuinely nice to me, and I just make up tales and stories of things that are going wrong in my life just so they'll give me sympathy. It's like my form of regular people stolen valor. Do you understand what I do, right? They'll say, how's your day going? I'm like, oh, well, my wife, the cancer. And then they're, oh, I'm so sorry. That just feels good.
Yeah.
It just feels good to have people care about you.
Let's do some weird jobs.
Oh, God, we're doing that thing? All right, here we go. Tom wanted to do a bit. He called it Weird Job Wednesday. Dan really likes it. Tom says that's bullshit. It's another Weird Job Wednesday. What are you doing? What is your job? Are you neat? Are you tidy? Or are you a fat slob? Do you make lots of money and you sit up in your tower looking down on all the people who are working by the hour? It's a Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Oh, yes, it's Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Thank you, Tom. Thank you.
Weird Job Wednesday brought to you by Streamline Florida. If you go to streamlineflorida.com, on their website, you'll see Brian Zeimel's number. You talk to anybody from that team about a refi, about a mortgage. They're great. They've done hundreds of BDM's mortgages and refis. Me and Daniel, everybody we know. My buddy just did through Streamline. They're great.
Yeah, I had a listener hit me up and say that Brian actually had stashed his client info, and because he wasn't ready to refi, and then called him up and said, it's time. It's been long enough. I guess you have to wait a certain period of time before you're not required to have a certain amount of insurance or different little loopholes and things. They know all about it. Get a hold of Brian and his team, and they'll take great care of you.
Yep. We get texts from Brian all the time about BDMs that personally text Brian and thank him. And
cool.
Hey, thanks for,
Oh, he loves it when you use the finger emojis.
Yeah,
Keep doing that. He loves that kind of stuff, man.
Yeah.
He loves it.
So, on the line with us for a Weird Job, Concrete Mike is here. How you doing, Mike?
I'm doing wonderful. How's everybody doing today?
Great, man. Great. Sorry that we had to stop you from Because I know that when you work, you work.
Oh, yeah. I was about to mention that.
I kind of feel stupid wasting his time right now.
So, Concrete Mike...
I'm letting the jackhammer cool off right now. It got hot. I've had it run for an hour and a half.
I know you're plowing someone's wife. He's letting the I'm going to use that with my wife. She's going to be like, "Are you ready for round 2? I'm going to let the jackhammer cool off a little bit. Come on, got to get a Gatorade.
Yeah. Got to hydrate.
This guy, you're the best, Mike.
So Mike was over my house because yesterday I met him after work.
What?
Because he's doing a little side job.
Side job.
He does concrete
that means
work.
He's
side
either
job.
plowing or killing.
And give me a quote for a driveway. And so a couple things. One,
why does your driveway need a coat?
quote.
You gotta code it.
So one thing is, and I'm going to start doing this because real men do this. When he pulled up, he got out of his car, left it running.
Yes!
You're damn right.
You can leave the door open, too, sometimes. Yeah, that's an advanced move.
Left his car running, or his truck.
You gotta keep that AC going.
He's not going to be there long, man.
Yeah. I mean, we were there for a while, but
it also keeps a stupid long talker like you, and you cut it short. I'm going to do that with you now. I'm gonna like act like I'm trying to jump out a window when you start telling me stories.
Yeah, real men keep their truck running, and I remember this from like my dad would keep his truck running. Like there's no reason to turn it off. First, of course not. We're in Florida. Keep the AC on. Keep that cool.
That's right.
And why turn it off? I turn off my truck all the time, even if I'm like running inside the house.
God.
I turn it off.
You back your truck out to get the mail, and then drive it back into the garage.
And second is Mike, and he's not going to talk about his concrete job for this weird job. I don't know. He told me.
Yeah, I don't know what. I know he's going in a different direction, but I don't know what job.
But he told me, he's like, "Oh man, tomorrow." He's like, "I'll call you in the break." He's like, "I'm putting." Basically, he's redoing some concrete work where they had to put these, and he'll explain it, but run these giant steel.
You're doing a great job of explaining it.
Mike, tell me what
imagine how good Mike's will be.
Mike, tell me what you told me yesterday, because the anxiety that I feel like a normal person would face doing what Mike's doing today is insane.
Yeah, what are you doing?
A newer form of slab foundations is what they call post-tension, which is a cable, a high-tension steel cable that is pulled through 33,000 pounds of force after the concrete's cured. And the framers went in and broke like 7 of them. And I'm having to chip under the foundation, underneath the walls, expose the cable around other live cables that they broke to make a new connection and feed new cables into the building and re-stress them because they're underneath walls holding a 4-story building.
Oh, man.
Wait, is this a dangerous job?
Sounds like it.
It is the most dangerous part of my job that I do.
Mike said you gotta be careful not to hit the cables that haven't been broken, because if you break one of those, they're under 33,000 pounds of tension and they'll explode like
where they whip you in half like Ghost Ship?
10,000 shotguns. Like, Mike, what would happen if you hit one of the cables that were under 33,000 pounds of tension?
For one, it sounds like a shotgun going off when they break. They can tear up through the slab. Chunks of concrete can fly up with it when they break. There's been people that have lost fingers and stuff doing this. So you got to be real careful, man.
Oh, my God.
Got to be on your game.
So Mike is literally jackhammering through concrete and trying not to hit a 33,000-pound tension cable.
God.
And to repair
I can't even eat a club sandwich without a toothpick in it. You know what I mean? Like,
Anyway, that's what Mike's doing today.
Wow. And that's not even why he called.
Yeah. So
it's an all week process on these 7 cables. It's going to be all week.
Well, I wish you the best of luck. I mean, obviously, we trust you. We know you know what you're doing. But, I mean, I still send you positive energy and thoughts, man, because I want you to be safe because I love you.
But, Mike, this is why you don't suffer with anxiety, right, Mike? Because you go through such a hard, like not only physical hard day labor, but mental and the stress of think about it. How many times you come close to dying a day?
Are you talking to me? I don't know, Tom. I got on Crocs, so you ask yourself.
Or your decisions that you make.
It all depends on your perspective on that, though, because, I mean, I make a right call on something, I don't die. So, technically I could almost die every single day.
No, I know.
It's all in how you...
But that's what I'm saying keeps you from having the daily anxiety that we all feel because
you don't need to create your own anxiety is what I'm saying. I mean, you already have enough that's real, and then you just manage that, and you're good to go.
So when our bosses email us or we forget to, minuscule small things that give us
dumb
daily.
ass.
Yeah. Mike doesn't experience because he literally could have died by hammering the wrong cable.
Correct.
And that was enough chemical exposure and adrenaline that even you out the rest of the time. Anyway, so Mike, let's talk about your weird job. And this is from back in the day, right?
Yes, sir. It was when I was 17 years old. I was sitting at home with my buddy playing Nintendo, doing bong rips. I get a knock on my door. It's this dude. Starts throwing off a sales pitch about a contest that he's in, blah, 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 this and that. I need you to help me sponsor so I can win. I said, all right, what do I got to do? Oh, just buy these magazines. I said, dude, I'm broke. I ain't got this, blah, blah, blah. He said, well, if you're broke, you can come with me. And you can do this when we go all over the place. And so I listened to him for a few.
We're going to be big. Yeah, I like it.
So literally that same day, I loaded up a duffel bag, went and met with him at the hotel they were all staying at, met their bosses, who was an old hippie couple with traveling around with their kids. They had a fleet of vehicles, vans and Suburbans and stuff like that, a few cars.
Hold on, Mike.
These are travelers. These are travelers, right? Sounds like, well, you can't say
they were
gypsy
traveling
anymore.
gypsy magazine people.
Well, hold on, you got to. Okay, Mike, whatever.
You were 17 years old, so you just literally someone came to your door and was like, "Hey, kid, you want to make some money? You follow me." Yeah. And you packed your bag.
I was living in the projects after our house burnt down. You remember that voicemail about the house burning down?
I remember that story.
After that, we ended up living in government housing in projects, and it was terrible. So I wanted out.
I still want to write your book.
My opportunity.
So did you have parents, Mike? Like, did your parents say, like, good luck?
My mom and dad separated when I was 3. My mom gave me up to my dad, and then coincidentally enough, I was living with my mom again later on. But my mom wasn't really up for Mother of the Year award ever. So I had free run at 14, 15 years old. I was just doing my own thing.
Tom had that too, but he wasn't going to put it to good use. He was going to bleach his hair and try to put his fingers places.
My God, the grit that Mike had so early that that's why
I mean, just the statement. My mom gave me up to my dad. I lived with her later, coincidentally. We'll get to that. Yeah.
And the fact that you just could pack a bag and just leave your house at under 18,
not scared at all,
or with nobody even care. Like, did you tell your mom, like, hey, I'm
going to my magazine job?
I told her. I was like, I'm out. I'll be back when I'm back. And I was on the road. I was on the road for 7 months with these people.
I'm sorry to laugh
by these people.
Mike, I'm sorry to laugh at that, but that just
magazine
sounds insane.
So now this is what year is this, Mike?
Hey, let's send our kids out with the gypsies for 7.
I don't know. 17 years old. I was born in 76. So what's that? 86, 94.
94. I'm graduating from high school. You're out with the gypsies for a year.
This early 90s.
Anyway.
No way of, like, obviously, this is way pre-cell phone, pre-even collect cards, so you're not even calling home.
But it's not pre-Dr. Dre's The Chronic, which is
post-Chronic.
Phone calls are either made from the hotel or from a payphone.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah. Beepers are starting to roll out.
I mean, do you understand the current day generation of like a 17-year-old, like their parents they'll track their cell phone to see if they're at the sleepover. They would, you know what I'm saying? Like,
sleepover? They're not allowed at a sleepover. Are you crazy?
Hell, your wife still does that to you, Tom.
That's true.
I know.
And that's called a microphone made out of concrete drop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Mike, these people were just traveling like hippies that would sell magazine subscriptions, but were they even subscriptions? Or like, was there an actual thing, or was it all a scam?
I don't know if anybody ever got their magazines, to be honest. I do not know.
Yeah, that's not your business.
She's right. That's not your business. That's for the hippies.
It was a commission-based thing. So the more we sold, the more we got for a percentage off whatever subscriptions we sold. Well, and so it was good. You could go out for half a day. They'd drop you off in random neighborhoods. So there'd be like a car handler that would drive the van, and we'd all load up in one van and then fill it up and drop off different neighborhoods, kind of like Tom's or wherever, all different areas.
Yeah.
And knock doors all day. And when you got done, if you sold enough and you wanted to just go back, you could go back to the hotel and hang out, go do whatever, or you could stay out, keep hustling, and make money.
Did you have a girlfriend where you maybe...
Was it a bunch of teens and runaways and stuff?
I would say the average age was probably 24, but it was a range between my age, and we had some people that were 35. There was hippies, and there was felons.
No,
People on the road.
Can't get any other jobs.
There was some bad people. There was some bad people, and then the rest of us sat back and spoke.
Well, there were the bad people, and then there were the people that the bad people beat up and intimidated.
I like how your mom didn't care that you're traveling with a bunch of hippies and felons across the country. Who knows where? Like,
do you remember any of these characters by chance, Mike? Like, were they like? Do you still keep in contact with any of these travelers?
No, actually, one of them I would have. She was from my home state of New York. We picked her up in Buffalo. Her name was Tina. And sadly enough, she had to leave our group when we were in Illinois. I was driving one of the Suburbans, and I started running low on fuel. We're out in corn country. So I start flashing the guy ahead of me to let him know, hey, next stop, we got to get off. I need fuel. So while he runs back to my truck and starts talking with me, this girl Tina got out of his vehicle, and she had to pee. She went and squatted down in front of his truck, and nobody knew it. It was middle of the night. Everybody's sleeping. So this guy gets back in his truck, starts driving, run her over, and had her pinned under the back axle in a fully loaded Suburban.
While she peed.
Oh, my God.
It broke her back. It crushed her ribs. She was all tore up.
I saw this on Righteous Gemstones. This is the parking lot scene from Righteous Gemstones.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, my God.
I have seen this.
She
It took five of us to pick up the back of the Suburban and push it forward to get it off of her.
Oh, hysteria strength. You had
Oh, no, five
Five of us got on the back bumper.
Hungry Mike's as strong as hell.
Anyhow, so we got that off of her. Somebody hauled ass down the road because, again, no cell phones, can't call 911. Nobody knows what happened. So dude flies down the road, gets to the next gas station, calls 911. They come get us. So we didn't see her for about 6 months or so. She came back.
She came back
right before I was. Well, her boyfriend was still on the road with us. This dude Tim, and she came back, and then he went with her, and they went back to go live in his hometown in Ohio. About 15 years later, I'm watching real TV, true crimes, whatever, one of them things, and it's a murder story about this girl that got murdered, and it ended up being him. He killed her, bludgeoned her, gutted her, everything through her skull and her fingers and her teeth into a lake up there.
Tina!
And nobody knew what had happened. And the only way they tracked it down was through DNA from their child, something with a match, and it was weird.
I'm gonna guess that was one of the felons, not the hippies.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, he was pretty cool. I couldn't believe it when I seen it. I was stunned.
I ate ribs with this
The
dude.
dude was cool. His name was Tim, and I remember when I seen the picture on the TV of him, I'm like, oh my God! I couldn't believe it.
Okay,
Oh,
we're
my
not as.
God.
Okay,
Wait a second. I need to know what episode this
Oh,
is.
my God.
Mike, we're not as real as you. You need to flash your lights at us before you make those turns. You gotta let us know.
Yeah.
You gotta let us know when you're gonna cut.
Oh,
Mike's
Tina got a
fingers.
rough go,
Yeah,
man.
he got her fingers off.
Mike, I had a smoothie this morning. And I was like, oh,
I had
it's
a
stinging
gun
my
in-
teeth. They're cold.
I learned how to put my
I
daughter's
had
hair
a gun
into a
put to my
bun.
face.
You had a gun
I
put
had
to
a
your
gun put to my
face.
face in a Taco Bell parking lot in Philly. We were traveling through Philly for the week, and I was trying to cop a dime bag. And I asked somebody, where I could score a dime bag. They said, I had a gun in my forehead. Thought I was a cop. I'm like, what do you think this is, 21 Jump Street? I'm like, dude, I'm 17 years old.
So he accused you of being a narc, like a cop, like an
Yeah, I
undercover
thought
cop.
I was a narc. Yeah, he thought I was a narc or something, trying to set him up in the Taco Bell parking lot.
I like how he thought you were going to cop. You were a cop, so he was going to kill you. like you kill a cop.
I've never understood that move.
yeah, like that's so.
I've never understood why when you have the cop, right, in any of these dumb movies or anything, when they have the cop, they're like, well, he's a cop, we have to kill him. I'd be like, well, why don't you just, how about this? How about you start with saying, hey, cop, we're going to let you go, just don't say anything. I'd start there and work my way.
Yeah, like you're definitely going to the electric chair.
You're done.
Yeah. Like if you don't do anything, you do some time. I don't know if it's your first offense, or, it's like you can figure it out after that. But once you pull the gun out, you're
that's
going
bad.
to the electric chair.
That's bad.
Anyway, so
Did
Mike,
you get your weed?
hold on.
No.
So I'm curious to like how many subscriptions you could actually sell. Like this is the early 90s. Maybe this was before like everybody would just immediately say no and get the hell off my property, like from people going door to door. Like
People did used to love magazines,
what
dude.
what kind of
Here's the key.
magazines?
Oh, it was all of them. Sports Illustrated, Better Homes and Gardens, all that nonsense, man.
All of your big
all
ones.
the regular stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, we hit college towns most of the time because most of the young kids are there. Mommy and daddy's credit cards. They just put it on mom and dad's credit card. Didn't care. We did a lot of sales in areas like that. I've been trespassed from 3 different universities. I got kicked out of Northern Illinois University, Purdue, and West Virginia, the Mountaineers.
Wow.
So,
Shout
Mike,
out
Just
to
for
the
soliciting, or
Mountaineers.
did you
Yeah.
do something?
Well, you get up into the dorms, like, and you get popped by an RA. You get up into the dorms, and you're not supposed to be in there. And we'd start bouncing doors in there because there was a high population of kids, and you did a lot of quick sales, get in and get out.
So, Mike, what was your sales pitch? Like, because obviously,
Oh, you're going to love this.
Yes.
You're going to love the way you look.
All right. My whole thing was I was in a communications contest, and part of the contest was to go out and meet people and get better with my speaking and blah, blah, blah. And said eventually I'm going to go to college and I want to be a radio DJ, and one day you're going to get up to go to work in the morning, turn on your radio, and you're going to hear me.
Yeah.
No.
It's actually true.
Like, hey,
I mean, this is like,
It came true.
It did become true.
Yeah. By the way, Mike, first it doesn't pay, and concrete work is way more lucrative. But
I look at
would
concrete
listen.
easier, though.
I would listen
It
to
is easier.
like a daily radio, just back to terrestrial
yeah.
radio, like a talking with Mike.
Yeah.
Jackhammer Radio.
Oh, and having a beer with Mike.
Write that down.
Write
that was already a show.
Oh! Don't tell me they had a Richard Simmons impersonator named Dick Simmons.
He let his LLC lapse.
Yeah, he did. Let's scoop that up.
I did try to reach
Let's
out
go
to him.
backwards.
Yeah. Anyway,
Fat Tom having a beer with Mike.
so you would tell people you wanted to be a radio star. How would you work in like getting the magazines? Like, would you be like, want some Sports Illustrated?
Here's where you go to them and say, so can you help sponsor me in this contest so I can win? And they say, sure, how do I sponsor you? And then you pull out the packet with the magazine list and you say, here's how you sponsor me. And you open it up, and everybody reads at some point or other. You know, there's always something to do. Everybody needs something to read. And you just, hand them that. They start looking through it. Everybody would always find something they're interested in.
Except Tom. If you found Tom, everybody needs something to read.
You get a gift for Dad, Hot Rod Magazine, better Guns of Ammo, stuff like that. Sports Illustrated, you can always get them as a gift. You don't have to want to read the magazine yourself.
How about adult magazines like Playboy, Penthouse? Maybe
you basically just talk them into buying.
Maybe even an Easy Rider, because they had some top list foldouts.
Yeah, they didn't have none of those. It was all PG.
Though there's no way these people would actually get the magazine, right? I mean, like, you would just go town to town
steal their money and let go.
Steal their credit card.
I can tell you right now, the people that paid cash never got a magazine for sure.
Why would the people that pay credit card get the magazine? You just
Proof of purchase?
I mean, the owner or
the hippie's got to run the card. Right?
The head hippie would just run the card and steal the money. There would be no transaction.
More tapestries.
Yeah. So, Mike, how would you live? Like, so you go in the van, and the head hippie was it a creepo? Was there any like?
I have a long beard. I'm picturing Jerry Garcia.
Yeah, I imagine there had to be at least some molestation.
Oh.
There was one dude that was real weird. He was a squirrely fella from Paducah, Kentucky.
Yeah, I don't trust him.
And he was a weirdo. I never liked that guy. He looked like that creeper, definitely. Like he should have just been driving a white van with no windows.
All right.
Yeah. F
because
that guy.
I imagine, like, it's the early 90s. You're getting some, younger runaways or homeless girls to do this, too. And there's probably
dude,
some...
what are you doing?
Well, no. I'm just saying that's how how these
desperate people.
That's who gets human trafficked, and that's who gets screwed the most is people that are homeless and desperate.
What about my magazine?
And then these people pick them up for either Colts or these type of deals, and then they get horribly abused. Was there any of that, Mike, or was it basically just a bunch of felons?
There was a bunch of sex happening. It was a pretty solid mix of girls and guys. Some of them had hooked up and had their own, relationships, but the rest of us were just bang crazy out there.
Okay.
Even the old hippie lady?
She was there with her husband and her kids, the old hippie lady. So they did their own thing. So her name was Dawn. Dawn and the other guy's name, I think it was Mike. I can't remember.
Oh, I wanted you to be like, her name is Dawn and my name is Sunset.
So did they pay you at the end of the day, Mike? Like, did you ever see that that one documentary about Lady in the Dale and about how that person that ran that whole operation started doing the flowers at the side of the road and basically hired a bunch of homeless people and would pick them up in buses, drop them off on the side of the road, to sell flowers, and at the end of the day would pay them their cut of whatever they sold, and that's what started this whole homeless people selling flowers business, and then it started.
So it's her fault.
No. She started with flowers. This has always gone on, and so this is kind of the same thing where you'd pick up a bunch of felons and runaways and people that were just
why don't we do that? Tom and Dan Street Team.
I mean, the people.
Everybody got a good street team, right? Is that still a thing? Street teams.
So how would they
Tom
pay
and Dan
you?
Street Team.
Oh, we'd go back to the hotel, and the two older ones, they never went out to the field. They just made their money off all of us.
Paid their dues,
and they organized the hotels, the travel, this and that. You know what I mean? They maintained the vehicles.
Yeah.
But we'd go back in at the end and hand them all of our invoices, and they'd go through, and okay, boom, 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 you get $8 for this one, $10 for this, whatever, and count out your cash and hand you. They had wads of cash. I don't even know how much money they had.
This sounds intriguing to me. Like, I would like to do this. So follow me, Tom. I would like to do this, but I don't feel like physically I'm in the shape to do this because I would be good at the organization, the upkeep of the vehicles, organizing travel, organizing hotel. I'd be really good at it. I'd be kind to everybody. I'd pay everybody on time. But the thing you got to worry about, and the thing that I'm surprised didn't happen, is that there was some sort of strange mutiny where some of the felons said, well, we can kill both of these hippies, and this will be our operation. We can take this thing over, right? I would always be looking over my shoulder afraid that somebody's going to try and get me.
Yeah, I guess then the people aren't good enough to organize everything.
Yeah, but he's saying wads of cash. I mean, you walk around with wads of cash, you're a mark.
Yeah. So, Mike, how did you how much money did you make, and how did you end up leaving the operation? Like, why'd you stay with them 7 months? What was your cue to get the hell out of there? How did that end?
I made it all the way to Salt Lake City, Utah from New York. So we've traveled around a lot, and it wasn't that I really wanted to leave, but my grandma was dying, and I wanted to go back and get back home and see her one more time while she was still on this planet.
Oh, wow. And what a touching reason to leave the travelers.
How much money did you make, Mike?
I was making about $100 to $150 a day. Once I had over $100, I didn't care about being out there no more. I wanted to go have some fun, relax, do whatever, you know what I mean, spend my money. All I had to do was pay for food. That was it. So, I mean, the rest of the money was my money.
And that's when Whoppers were like 99 cents. Right? I'm being serious.
Yeah.
I'm trying to put myself in this time. Like, you get a 99-cent Whopper, the rest of your money's for beer, and you're banging these traveling girls.
Dude, Wednesday, McDonald's would do 29-cent hamburgers Wednesdays.
This man knows.
That was 97.
Boy, we are trash.
Yeah, I think that was back when you could still get 20-cent tacos from Taco Bell.
Yeah.
There was a sweet spot where burgers,
$100
tacos,
a day,
and Whoppers were just dialed in cheap, man.
Dude, $100 a day in 96 is not bad money.
Yeah.
And the best part was when I got done, and whenever you were decided you just wanted to go back, you won't do it no more. These two people, Dawn and this other guy, they would buy you a Greyhound ticket to get you home. You didn't even have to pay for your own way to go home.
That's awesome.
So I sat 3 days on a Greyhound to go back to Albany, New York.
But you got to see Mama, right?
That's a whole nother. That 3 days on that Greyhound's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother phone call.
We got to do a chatting with the masters.
Yeah.
Why don't we just set it up? Okay, you were looking for something. We have a show coming up that
I
we're trying to
brought this
plan
up
for.
before.
No, I know, but we were like, I don't know. We don't want to. Like, let's try to do it,
Listen
man.
to all these stories.
And we'll go to
God.
him. We'll go to him so it has like depth, and I'll set it all up. I'll get the mics and everything. We'll be good to go.
Yeah, we got to talk to you, Mike.
Let's go to Hourglass Brewing, beer with Mike.
Yeah.
We
Dude, and we
chatting with
call
the
it
masters.
having a beer with Mike. It was your idea.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Yeah. There's no way
Wasn't
that
having a beer with Mike already a TV show?
That's the whole joke, Mike. That's the whole joke.
We got multiple plans. We go to any of our different...
I wasn't sure if he. Well, I wanted to make sure he realized it. I wanted to make sure Tom was aware of
No,
that.
we know.
Tom knows.
We're the China factory of Orlando. We'll just steal anybody and just,
we take anybody's likeness, put it on the side of the cake.
Yeah, we'll just do it and figure that you're too lazy or it doesn't matter anymore to go after
Come at us, bro. We'll back down real fast.
yeah. And then no harm, no foul, right?
Exactly.
We'll just stop doing it.
We do it, come at us, bro, but it's like, come at us, bro, because we'll stop.
Yeah. All right, Mike. So what's the rest of your day like? I'm curious because I'm...
Today or...
Today.
Oh.
Trying not to die in this heat like I do every summer in August, and get back on that jackhammer and finish exposing the rest of these cables so I can start feeding the new ones in.
Mike,
always exposing cable.
See, I feel like, Mike, like you always wanted to be a radio personality, right?
Yeah, I mean, really, yeah. I used to sit back kind of like Dan did. Me and my cousin, we used to sit back and like make our own, record the song. You have to wait for the song to start on the radio, hit record, and then in the middle of it, we jump in and act like we're the DJs. You just heard, Pantera, Boomer's Play Power, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, talk to the post.
But, Mike, I feel like if you ever got, and you could definitely do it.
He's good at it.
You got the talent. You got more talent.
You're better than most radio people are at radio.
Yeah. Most all that I know. But the problem is, Mike, I feel like if you got some job where you went in every day in the AC and you sat down and you talked,
it kills Mike.
And then you had the lunch like us, and then you did some emails, and then you go home, you do a tight 3.5 hour workday.
It's like Roy Kent. You could be good at it, but is it what you were born to do?
Don't threaten me with a good time.
I feel like it's like trapping a stallion, like and
a dust-covered stallion.
Yeah, like you're fencing in a stallion, and stallions were made to run free.
Yes,
and you put Mike in a cage and in the AC and not out working hard every day.
You're killing independent Mike.
Then you're gonna take Mike's spirit away, which gives him all
it's
his
like
power.
killer whales at SeaWorld, right?
Yeah.
Next thing you know, it's killing the trainer.
Yeah, your fins down. You're depressed every day. I feel like what keeps Mike's spirit is his insane hard work every day. That the real man.
I think he knows Mike, tell me if this is accurate. I think the one thing that I know about you is at the end of the day, you like laying your head on the pillow knowing that you actually made a difference and you worked your ass off, right? Like you get off on that, right? Like you like to get stuff done.
Yeah, hard work is good living, and it's a good feeling.
I agree.
I earn everything I got. I work hard for everything I have.
And there is a feeling that cannot be duplicated by anything, including sex or drugs, that when you accomplish something, there is a feeling you get.
Yeah. It's a bad feeling not working hard and getting too much. That's what I got right now. Like I barely work hard at all, and it's just so much. I got so much. I feel like I need to waste it.
Bernie called me today and said, "You have to spend money. You have too much."
And we're barely doing it. We started pulling back work.
Yeah, I was like, I stopped working. I mean, what do I do? What do I do when money is just like? What do I do when it's just making money?
The other day, like we started leaving here at 1:30. We're like, oh God, it's been a long day. Call it early.
I get here at 11. I leave at 1:30.
Yeah. But Mike,
and half of that time is lunch.
But we're so weak, Mike. Like you could come in and easily push us down and have sex with our wives.
You wouldn't need to do that. Just look at me. I'll fall on the floor.
Yeah. Like yesterday, Mike, when you were standing in my front yard, you could have pushed me down to the roots easily.
Oh yeah.
And then taken my wife, and I mean, she would not even be
my hero.
And I mean, what you would give to her, I mean, she'd never experienced before.
Oh my God.
just ridiculous. I mean, pounded.
Jeez.
I mean,
the jackhammer?
Yeah. Like, to the point where it would change her perspective.
It would be like doing ayahuasca. Like the next day she comes in, she'd be like, I have a completely different personality after I've done Mike.
Yeah. I'm
Tom, your wife is too nice of a person. Your wife is too nice of a person. I wouldn't want to ruin her like that.
No, come on. Yeah. She needs it.
Yeah.
She does.
Yeah, maybe
She needs you to turn around.
Yeah. Keep her from, Yeah. She came out, crowed a little. Then she went back in.
What are you guys planning on doing? I hope you're not planning on killing my trees.
Yeah. She came out.
He's laughing. Did I get it?
Oh, yeah. And then Mike is so polite. He's like a Southern real man gentleman.
I assure you.
Yeah. He assured her, yeah. But she don't trust me. Then she side-eyed me. And she's like,
this is one of your friends. You're an idiot.
Yeah.
Where's Daniel? He's an idiot, too.
Yeah.
Normally he's sniffing around here, little potato man.
But when Mike speaks, he speaks in like, whatever he says, I believe. He's like, oh, no.
Confident,
As long as the root's not as big as your leg, he's like, I've cut the roots bigger than this. And then, it's like, he's right. I have no idea if he's right, but he talks so confident.
She did say she wants to get an arborist. She did say she wants to get an arborist out there for his opinion, too, professionally.
I don't even know.
An arborist? Where do you hire an arborist?
Arborist? What's that?
That's
Arby's.
Chungus?
Is that our friend? Is that Izzy? Who eats at Arby's every
That's
day?
true.
Come on,
we can get Izzy out there.
Hey, Izzy, look at these roots. Good.
These are big trees.
Mike, I don't want to take you from your job too long.
Good luck today, buddy. We'll be thinking about you. Just stay safe, okay?
Yeah, that.
I've been sitting in my AC in my truck too long. I got to get back out in the heat again.
Yeah. You don't want to lose any of those wrinkles you got in his leather arms.
Working in this heat does make me appreciate air conditioning and walk-in beer coolers at stores so much more.
That Wawa beer cooler is cold.
Nothing like walking into you walk into that Wawa beer cooler at the end of the day to grab a 4-pack of Tall Boys. I'll just stand in there for like 2 minutes just staring at the beer cooling off.
Mike, that's my favorite pack of beers. Are you a 4-pack man? I love a 4-pack.
Well, it's good for a drive home. I mean, I got to usually an hour and a half drive. So,
I don't do that part, but
come back and get home.
This is the difference between me and Mike. I go into there. I'm like, oh God, it's in the beer cooler. I'm too cold. And then I have to run in there, grab my White Claw.
Can you go get my?
I have to get
my sweater to go into the beer cooler.
Get the lady behind the counter. I'm like, can you go in there?
Do you have a sweatshirt I can borrow? Jesus, man.
Mike, hey, real quick.
Hey.
So, how can people contact you if they want to get a driveway or decide concrete work? I feel like people.
Maybe their wife needs a good thrashing.
People email me like, "How do I get a hold of Concrete Mike? I don't even know." And then I'm like, "He's on the BDM page, but it's a different name."
Just go in there, put the frog emoji. He'll show up.
Yeah. How do people even email you? You have an email?
Yeah. I got an email.
What's it to you?
jr.nation@gmail.com.
Gator Nation?
Ding Dong Nation?
Junior Nation. I'm a NASCAR fan.
No.
Yeah. There it is.
Great.
Oh, Mike at juniornation.com.
Yeah, Junior Nation.
Wait a minute.
Wait. This might come as a surprise to you guys, but I am the president of the Dale Jr. Fan Club.
Team.
And he's one of my best friends.
God, I love Mike.
My buddy was watching NASCAR this weekend.
I watched NASCAR.
There's a lot of BDMs out there.
Dude, it was great. Did you watch the ending of the race? It was fantastic.
I don't know.
A little reckless, but it was fun.
But the top 10 racers I don't recognize as much because I've been out of the game for so long. I'm like, I don't know the names. Anyway. Sorry, Mike.
Mike, sorry. We love you, buddy.
All right, man. It's all right.
All right.
I love y'all, too. Have a good day, man. I got to go.
Yeah,
All right.
Take it easy, yeah.
Right.
Sorry. Why'd you do that?
I didn't do anything. Mike, I can sit there and talk to Mike. I remember when he was over my house cutting the trench for the island with his concrete saw.
I love people that know how to do, like, just capable people. He's so capable.
Yeah,
he can do anything.
I think he gave me a job because he felt bad. Like, he knew I wanted to help him out and not be the real man cuckold that I tell you about, where you just stand and watch a real man.
Well, you shouldn't do that. You put yourself through that. You're supposed to leave or go in another room or do something that you can do.
When is your buddy helping you out?
No, this is chirping.
Yeah.
No, Mike.
You're a work chirp.
No, you're wrong about this. And you're wrong. You're wrong.
No, this is the breaks the show up because this MF has been chirping at me and saying I'm chirping. This guy stands over people that do work at his house and he chirps.
No, if you have a real man over your house that's your buddy that's doing a job, he wants you to chirp at them.
No.
Because
I need proof.
Mike wants to get back to his AC.
No,
it sounds a lot like me saying that the young old teens, or old teens rather, not young teens, or young old teens or mid teens, they like to be chirped at Publix. I say that and you say I'm wrong.
The circumstance is
I'm
different.
going to have to agree with Dan on this one.
No, but
she never agrees with me
because
red letter day.
Because they want to hear the stories and they want me to tell them
the same old stories that Mike's.
I talked to Jay, another concrete man.
Whoa!
You're double dipping in concrete?
Does Mike know that?
Well, I knew he helped me before.
I'm pretty sure you're only supposed to have one, sir.
That's right.
I'm dead serious. I'm pretty sure that in that, it's like having two handymans. You can't have two handymans.
Yeah. Because
you got two handyman. You can't have that.
You can have multiple. They don't care. They don't care.
No,
they're always busy.
That's why your house is falling apart.
They're always busy, and
wow.
That's a deuce in the wall scenario.
But now the guys that know how to do this work and do it well, like Mike, he has never-ending amount of jobs. He can't. I mean, in fact, like I'm almost hindering him by promoting him because he can't do 30 different driveways.
Let's check with Mike before we.
I know this guy. I know Mike's business.
We're live on...
in the chat, Concrete Toad, which is Concrete Mike, says, "How dare you, sir?" He's offended that you have another concrete guy.
No,
Mike. He said, "I'm out, do the driveway with him." That's what he did.
In caps. Oh, damn. Oh, yeah. Oh.
He's going to kill your trees, bro.
He don't want to.
Your wife's going to be so
Concrete
mad.
Jay doesn't want to do the driveway. He just did it for a one-time favor this other time.
One and done?
Yeah.
Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
Concrete Jay sounds like somebody who just dabbles in concrete.
Yeah. Like he used to do it. He got out of the game.
Concrete Jay, and there's Concrete Mike.
He's in the rock game now. Like he doesn't deal. The concrete work is too much.
You really pissed off Concrete Mike.
Wow.
No.
We're live on Twitch right now, twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live, the strongest stream in Orlando. And everybody in the chat room is saying that you, sir, are a chirper. If you stand over the guy, the cableman,
yes,
the Safe Touch man, the Guardian Water Services man, like any other people that come to your house to do certain American Air and Heat, if you stand near them and you know the tech and you're just standing there shooting the breeze, you are chirping.
Yep.
If they know the show, I chirp at them. If they don't know the show, I got nothing to talk about. I can't. I don't.
Why do you have to talk?
Small talk, huh?
No, you don't have to talk.
I don't. Well, if they know the show and they're doing me a favor, I talk.
But they don't want that.
Why don't you just
they do want that.
Tip them extra instead of talking their ear off.
They like the verbal tips.
$10.
I got confirmation from Mike and from Jay and other people.
Christine is just laying you out because it's exactly the same scenario.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same scenario that I have at Publix where I say they like it. I have confirmation emails from people that work there that say they like it. You guys claim fake news. I'm saying the same thing to you.
Strangers don't like it. I'm saying like Joe Santos helped me put the windows in my house that time. And I talked to him that entire. He liked it, and then
I'd have to talk to him to make sure he liked it.
Anybody, I bet. Find one person that did work over my house as a favor. I still pay them.
Oh my God, there's thousands of people that play God.
But they all like
all of Seminole County.
None of them got annoyed. My wife said the same thing. They're like, quit talking to them. Whatever. She gets mad because
yeah, but don't you want them to concentrate on doing a great job? Haven't you had a few instances where the jobs aren't? They're just like 78% or something? Maybe that's because you're talking to them.
That could be true, but they like the stores.
Okay, so it's worth the 13% off of it. Yeah,
because that's what they're there for. They're there for the stories.
Not for the work.
No. The story, because I'm paying them less than they normally charge.
Verbal tips.
This is a hookup.
Verbal tips.
The truth comes out.
All right. Bye-bye.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Out of the three guys on the show, well, let's go four to make it weird. Me, you, Travis, and Tony. Who has the tannest ding-dong?
Butler's the tannest himself. So I would assume
Is he the tannest?
Yeah.
He's Neanderthal.
Get in here, Butler. I want to see how tan you are. I'm pretty tan.
Yeah, Butler's...
Put your arm next to mine. I'm pretty tan.
Yeah.
Oh,
no, look at that.
Look at that.
Yeah,
well,
dark.
You got to shave all that monkey hair off because it's very dark. His hair is so dark that I feel like it's messing with you, right? Like I feel like his hair is like
an optical illusion.
It's like putting a gel on a light on a movie set. You know, like it's.
How are you so tan and British? I thought British people were supposed to be pasty white.
It's a recessive Italian gene that I have.
Okay.
Oh, now he's Italian.
Yeah,
Italiano.
Uncle Dijon.
Hey,
Forgot about it.
Please, from now on, just talk like Tony Soprano.
Hey, I got him on stick. Fell off a truck, guy. You know what I mean?
And then we're gonna start dressing you in just a
fedora. I'm gonna dress you like Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's not bad. And then we'll do the
tracksuit. Yeah. Please start wearing a tracksuit, and we'll give you a gold
like Chris
chain.
Penn. I want you to get fat like Chris Penn from Reservoir Dogs and wear the full 3-stripe tracksuit.
I can't get fat again.
No,
so
you look
hard.
good.
It's getting so hard. To
you
get
look
it off
really
now.
good.
So, Butler, have you been to nude beaches?
I've been to a topless beach. I haven't been to a fully nude beach.
I have been to a fully nude beach. My wife has been to neither.
So I've been nude in public around hedonism.
I laid on a banana raft completely nude in the ocean.
I went to the nude side, went to the nude pool with other people that I know still.
It's weird.
And then
I saw their wives' vaginas.
And went to the beach but this was at night. I never did during the day.
I did it during the day.
You did it during the day.
I saw some things I can never unsee. Like I saw things and ate hamburgers and hot dogs with nude people.
Yeah, Samantha, have you ever done this?
No.
Would you be
it's very
open
odd.
to that, or because I'm gonna say this clinically, or because I would think that you would be more of a mark that this would not be something you would naturally.
I've been nude on a beach with other nude people, but it wasn't a nude beach.
It was just like an abandoned style beach.
It was just at night when nobody was out there.
Oh, night. See, I don't think night counts. I
Skinny
think
dipping, yeah.
Night is the entry level, right? I think that's getting your feet wet.
Yeah.
But I think you got to really do it during the day to decide if it is for you. And I did it, and I've decided it is not for me.
Not for you?
No. And I did it. Like I did it because
Too much sand and
the
crevices,
only
right?
reason I did it is because I knew I would not be comfortable, and it was like pushing myself to do something that.
Testing the boundaries.
Yeah, it was like
you're there.
It
You might as well
like,
do it.
I'm being serious. It was like it gave me grit, I guess, because
Yeah.
I was completely uncomfortable doing it, and I knew I'll never come back here. So I'm going to do it just so later I can say, because people are going to ask at this hedonism. People aren't going to not ask. Well, did you go to the nude side? They're gonna. That's the number one thing they're going to ask. I'm like, well, I'm going to check that box.
Yeah.
So I did one day doing that. The rest of the time,
Just to
I'm
say
like,
you did it.
Yeah.
And
it is not. It's kind of gross.
How they have to be having all nudists, and we should talk to one of them. But
the ones that fascinate me are the ones where
damn it, I did all my steps.
What were your steps?
I don't know. I'm taking my
Step
steps.
1, you put your right foot in. Step 2, you put your right foot out. No, what? Like to me, the ones that are fascinating are the people that are like, oh yeah, I grew up in a nudist colony with my parents,
right?
And and I decided to leave, like around when I'm right around like 2024.
Yeah.
What?
We talked to a BDM that was a nudist, or their family was, and she grew up that way, and it's just normal at that point. But so play Linda Beach. There's still a nude section, and that's how I kind of started this.
Yes.
So what is the etiquette when you go to that section? Because obviously going there when you're fully clothed, or at least like regular bathing suit, it's got to be frowned upon because you're an outsider in the in the culture of this, right?
Yeah,
and they're gonna think you're there to like just look and be a peeping tom,
right? Be a weirdo, a voyeur.
We have Tony on the phone.
yeah.
He is online too.
Oh, please tell me Tony's a nudist.
At the Improv this weekend, he's going to be there, theimprovorlando.com. Get your tickets now before they're sold out, because there's a comic legend. Tony Woods is going to be there. How you doing, Tony?
I'm okay. How you feel today?
Good. So, Tony, when I knew you were calling in, my first question was going to be, how much the audience has changed over your time doing stand-up comedy? Because you just celebrated 35 years, correct?
I think so, yeah.
And so, have you noticed a difference in the audience over that amount of time? I mean, or have you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I remember in the beginning it was new. Everybody was like, it was like a video store. People were lined up to get a video and stuff like that. Now, they can stream it. But it was, it's not as, I don't know. It's a different type of excitement. People they want, like, at first they used to just want to laugh, you hear me?
Yeah.
Now, they want you to make them happy.
Interesting.
You feel me? Like, before, it's just like, I just come to laugh. I just want to giggle. Ha ha. Now they're like, come on, man, make me happy. You know?
Yeah. The demand is
change
great.
my life with your comedy.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So, like, people want some sort of enlightening experience or some sort of, like,
Yeah.
It's like they want a therapist.
Right, they do. And they want you to talk about real stuff, but if you talk about real stuff your way, sometimes they go, whoa, you can't talk about real stuff like that in a real way. So, it's all, they want you to make them happy. It's like kids, kind of, you know.
Yeah.
They want you to, they don't know what they want.
Well, okay, Tony, I got to ask you, because we saw your social media, and you were standing in front of a Judge Jerry side, and people are asking you, are you there in the audience? And you're like, I'm participating.
I'm on the show, Judge Jerry.
Yeah, so you got to tell us about that.
Yeah, that was fun, because someone said, do you want to be on the Judge Jerry show? Like, all right, because I thought the person just had like a speech impediment or something. I thought you were talking about Judge Judy. I didn't know Jerry, as a Springer, had a show, and we did it. And another comedian friend of mine, he sued me, so that was fun, I guess.
So, hold on. Was it legitimate? Like, you had this lawsuit, and they came to you and said, do you want to work it out in front of Judge Jerry?
Yeah.
How does that work?
Well, okay. What happened is he was suing me for not paying him for some shows. But it's not like that. We work together all the time, and but we went out because it was on his suggestion. We went to this particular club because he says they got the VIP section for you, and we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, and we're gonna do it. And then at the end of the night, bang, they gave me the bill.
Yeah.
And I'm like, come on, man. That's like somebody walking into you guys' show and say, happy birthday. And you take some of the cake and then go, all right, you owe us $50 for that cake. What?
Yeah.
So anyway, so I'm like, dog, that's your fault. So, bang, I didn't pay him. So he sued me. But the good thing about it is he sued me and he won on Jerry Springer. And, you know, whenever you see those courtroom shows and people say, I'm suing for this much, the TV show takes care of that.
Yeah,
oh, nice.
They pay for it.
Yeah, you just lose. That's all.
Yeah,
but you don't lose money. But you just actually lose. So I actually lost, but I didn't lose no money. And I got some money for being on the TV show anyway.
That is awesome.
I mean, it's almost like you could scam the TV show.
Oh, yeah.
What
They
happened?
interviewed me after that, and I got to say the thing I always wanted to say. They said, so where you guys going after this? And I said, Disney World.
Yeah. You actually are. You're in Orlando, and you're going to be at the Orlando Improv, theimprovorlando.com for your tickets.
So,
Boom.
Tony, I got to ask you, because when Dave Chappelle thanked you at the Mark Twain Awards, obviously a bunch of people had to have, started searching who you were and researching you about you. I saw the New York Times article. I mean, you got a lot of publicity from that. And
I did. Check it out. I did not even exist until then.
Well, you did, Tony. Like I mean,
oh man, I wasn't even. I was like, what's the dude? The little dude who was with Geppetto. What's his name? Remember the guy
Jiminy
Geppetto? No, he was the narrator.
Oh, Jimmy.
No, Pinocchio.
no, okay.
You're a wooden boy.
Yeah, so boom, until he said, bang, you a real boy now. What?
Yeah.
That's how I felt. So most people think about Pinocchio, they think about him lying. No, he wasn't really a liar, man. He just said some stuff that wasn't true.
Tony, when Dave Chappelle, does he give you the heads up that he's going to do that?
Or does he just do it and you react?
No, he just did it. He did it. I mean, you saw this. You saw how I looked. I was sitting down. I was wondering why they had me sit in a particular seat, because there was 2 open seats beside me. So, but somebody came by from the crew and says, "No, you have to sit there." And I was sitting next to that girl. You see that girl I was sitting next to?
Yeah.
I was sitting next to her, and she's like, like that, like that. I'm like, all right, and I want to say, come on, bitch, they told me to sit here.
I bet you didn't think that after Dave Chappelle thanked you first of his entire career.
I want you to look at her face, and then when Dave gives me the shout out and all that stuff, she's leaning in.
Yep.
It's like that Ferrari brand.
Right, and everybody's calling me like, "Who was that girl?" I could have went with you. All of that stuff. Yeah, so because stuff like that, I avoid people who I might be kind of close to, like that. Romantically. I don't want to be there. Like this weekend, Friday and Saturday. Friday is my birthday.
Oh,
wow.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, and people keep saying, "Hey, man, I want to sit next to you on your birthday." No, you don't. Mama don't.
So
I'll be down there. So the people can come out and help me celebrate my birthday.
Yeah, 100%. I mean,
we got our whole chat room right now. Go ahead.
I just realized, man, we on air right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. You gonna bleep them bad words?
No,
we got you. We got you, Tony. Don't just be yourself. We don't. Yeah.
You don't even sweat it. Watch this. There we go.
The FCC barely exists.
Okay, because y'all scared the out of me, man. I was like, I'm gonna lose all my sponsors.
No, you're good. Fine. You're good.
So, one last question for you, Tony. So after that, and Chappelle thanked you, and I mean, what changes for you? How many, does a phone start ringing? Do people start immediately booking you?
You wouldn't believe it, man. You wouldn't believe it, man. The phone started ringing, boom. I'm doing international shows. I'm here, I'm there, I'm here, I'm there. And as a matter of fact, I was in Holland, where Amsterdam is in the Netherlands, boom, and doing some stuff. And then they say, yo, you better go home on Sunday because the world's going to shut down. I'm like, not for me, because I just got a shout out.
So, Tony, if you were going to put a value to that, to Dave thanking you at the biggest comedy award that exists,
right,
what value would you put that? What is that worth?
It was pretty priceless, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Some things you can't put. Yeah.
Dumb question, Tom.
I'm sorry.
Shut up, Tom.
I always go back to money. I apologize.
I mean, what you mean, like a dollar value?
Yeah. If you were someone who's going
to. Okay, I'm gonna tell you, it was okay. I don't know a dollar value, but I tell you, it was super satisfying. Say you get on the elevator, right? And it's people from your job. Right, and I don't know, maybe they just fired you, or maybe you just quit, or something, right? And right before you walk out the elevator, you rip a good one, right? It's a ooh, and then the elevator door shuts, and then you hear someone go, because they stuck in between floors.
That's a good analogy.
Perfect analogy.
I now understand the value of.
So it was satisfying. What I'm saying is, I felt satisfying, and a whole bunch of the people who had said, this and said that or whatever, it was bang, got you, mother.
Yeah. It's awesome.
It was like I didn't even do a show.
Yeah, I love it.
And then so the pandemonium happened, and then but I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I was still doing underground shows all over the place. I'm trifling. Anyway.
We have to have. We've never had you in here, and man, I hope we get a chance to meet you in person and have you in here because you're cracking me up, man.
Yeah.
TheImprovorlando.com. Go see him on his birthday. Celebrate it with him. He doesn't want you to sit next to him, and you don't want to sit next to him.
Tony, are you going out after you do your shows?
I go out all the time. I'll be out there. But I was gonna say, I know I hope it doesn't sound selfish or inconsiderate, right? But I wore a mask throughout the whole thing. But I'm not gonna tell you that I was like safe and staying away and 6 feet and all of that stuff, because about 5 or 6 years ago, I was in Australia, and I was sick as a dog, man. I was terrible. And I went to the doctor, and I remember she was a female doctor, and she with a beautiful Australian accent. You know how they speak with their whole face. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They go, how you doing? Like that, like the whole face talk. And she says, I'm afraid you have influenza. And it was because, when she said influenza with her accent, the first thing I did is I grabbed my crotch and I'm like, how did I get that? and she just looked at me kind of strange. She says, the flu. I'm like, oh, my bad. I had never heard the flu's full name.
Well, Tony...
It's like my name is Tony, but my real name is Anthony. It's like somebody said, do you know Anthony Woods? You go, no. But if you say Tony Woods, yeah, I know him. See him all the time. So it was... Yeah. So what the point I'm making is that I'm like, man, the flu can't catch me.
That's just science.
Yeah. Well, Tony, you don't have to worry about you're in Florida. Yeah. I don't know if you've seen the news, but
open,
it does not matter here in Florida, so we're good.
Yeah, I know. I was just down there, man.
Yeah. Well, Tony, we're telling everybody to get tickets to your show.
TheImprovorlando.com. Hey, man, enjoy your time in Orlando, and thank you for taking time to talk to us today.
Man, no, thank y'all for calling me. Or did I call y'all? But thank you for all of that.
You got it, man.
No problem, dude.
We'll talk soon.
Happy birthday, y'all.
Yeah, happy birthday to you, man.
Yeah. All right. Okay. He's party. Yeah, he's coming in hot. I like that. I'm a little sweaty, but I like that. I was managing things and riding faders because it would go up, go down, and get loud. I don't know if he was, at one point he was shoveling snow. I heard it in the background. I mean, that was fun.
Tony,
we got to get him in. He's just fun.
Dude, I don't know idea about Tony. By the way, it's hard to find information about Tony. Tony Woods. Look up Tony Woods.
Yeah.
His Wikipedia doesn't even have his age.
No.
Which is the first time I've ever seen that. Like, we could not find how old he was.
No.
And I was like, it's got to be here somewhere.
Seasoned.
He's only really active on Instagram. Yeah, he's been doing this for 35 years.
I'm being respectful. I say seasoned, and like I like that. Like, the chat room agreed. Like, it's fun when people just kind of come in hot like that.
Yeah. Woo! And so like Tony's only backstory really, I mean, besides
military guy
from being a comedian for that long,
Desert Storm, I believe. Thank you for your service, Tony.
We mentioned it, but like Dave Chappelle during the Mark Twain Awards thanked Tony Woods. I think it was first. Like, out of anybody,
I kind of have an interesting story about
and
that.
gave him credit for his inspiration of his entire career, which is insane, by the way, to single a comedian that no one knows about, no one's even heard of, really. You know, unless you were already a comedian, I'm guessing.
I mean, you could feel the parallels there, right? I kind of do. Yeah, you can feel it.
Someone was saying that I read the New York Times article, and they said, like, while Tony's doing stand-up, he'll slap the mic. And like it's Dave Chappelle does that too. Like after a punchline, he'll slap it against his leg. I guess Tony does that. And like there's certain things that you pick up watching.
Well, you can
Tony
tell.
Woods
You can tell even him talking to us on the phone. The pacing he had was. I'm like, oh, this is familiar, right? I mean, it feels good.
But he reminded me, and every once in a while we'll get a comedian in here that seems like they 100% just do it because they're a funny person naturally, and they just do stand up, and they weren't looking to make a career out of it.
Tony.
Yeah,
he doesn't write his jokes down. That's another thing I found amazing. He just does jokes and he doesn't write them down. That's pretty awesome.
Which is kind of like I think how Dave Chappelle does it, right? Where he works it out in his head, but I don't think it's
very similar style.
Like, see, he's kind of doing it across between like improv and where he'll have an idea.
Yeah, he has an outline of where he wants to go. Yeah.
That's amazing. If you're able to like perform like that and not let it get into your head and get nervous that you're going to slip up. Like, to me, that's the hardest part, is like getting on stage. And, you know, we do it where we're talking or whatever. We naturally find funny things or whatever. Thing. But if you're in front of an audience by yourself and you have some beats in your head, but it's not like exactly well rehearsed, because some comedians, they got that S down to the exact beat, and their whole
almost like a magician, where you're at that point all you're doing is executing an act.
And they're executing their act.
There's no pivoting. You're not being influenced by the audience in any way. You're just doing your act.
And it seems like, I've never seen Tony Woods perform except for like online or whatever, but it seems like they are, and I know it's not 100% this, but they are just off the top of their head telling you a story or telling you what they think is funny, which is an amazing talent to do when you already have an idea, because obviously you practice these stories and you get the beats down, but that, to me, having it all organized in your head just as beats, and then the story will come to you, and naturally you'll know when the punchline should hit and like how to build it.
Yeah,
that's pretty impressive, man. And if Tony's anywhere close to how Dave Chappelle does it, I'd go see him.
Yeah, he was great, man. I'd love to see him.
I mean, if you're Dave Chappelle's mentor, you're good. You know what I mean? I mean, it's not a question.
That's really all you got to know. Well, I mean, just that interview. If you didn't find that funny, there's something wrong with it. That guy's hilarious.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if he was up all night or partying or whatever, but he sounds fun as hell. I want to go to it.
He's been traveling, man.
I'm going to try and figure out if I can slip by there.
Yeah. It's always enlightening to me when you find a person that's in the entertainment business that just is in it for the true...
They enjoy it.
Like, I guess, raw entertainment of it.
Yeah.
Or, it's just like enjoys
There's
the
a part
art.
of me that really enjoys doing what we do, and I only do it because of that. If I stop,
but there's so much other that you have to do to be a part of that. That's some people choose not to do it, and it's like I mean, even though Tony's successful, obviously, it's just like he never got into the acting or the other stuff or the
he does a lot of writing for other comedians too.
A lot of naturally guys, funny. A lot of the guys that end up getting thanked at some point, you'll find out that they were writing for this guy or that award show, or there's a lot of that.
Also, he'll still do stuff like Judge Jerry, where
that's hilarious.
Like he's like,
his agent probably saw it come by. He's like, well, you can do this. Then he reached out to him, as you want to do that, and then as soon as they'd say, well, we'll take care of the little lawsuit deal, I was like, oh, awesome.
Yeah. Also, it seems like maybe, I don't know, I'm so skeptical. Like, it's a great setup for like, hey, just sue me for this bill.
Oh, yeah, two comedians do that. The guys do that all the time.
It's good for the show because you're naturally funny and you can riff, and also, what does the show care whether, it's a legitimate lawsuit or not?
Yeah.
And good for, like, these guys get paid. And, like, they settle the thing. Is like a win-win for everybody.
Would you like to come back and then we can go through, there are more than just one nude beach in Florida.
All right.
Okay,
go through some of the nude beaches. When we return, you're listening to A Corporate Time with Tom. Bye.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. That is the last time you will hear us say that on this show. I'm putting my foot down.
No, we can say it at the beginning.
That's
of
what
the
I'm
show.
saying. This is the only time we're saying it.
Yeah.
Every other time, you're going to have to try and figure it out. On the YouTubes and on Twitch. There's a website called Twitch. It's a great streaming platform. We're on there Monday through Friday, and you can join our chat room. I'm looking at these guys right now. Great group of folks in there right now that like to participate and watch the show. You can do that, and all of our shows are replayed live on, well, not live, but they're replayed on YouTube, and I actually trim them, color correct them, make them look pretty, and put those out. Just go to YouTube, type in Tom and Dan Live, and you can subscribe to everything.
Yep. Most things are at Tom and Dan Live.
Mm-hmm. Almost everything. Let's jump into voicemails and emails. Big fan of the show, Jim from Lakeland. This is the first time I've ever received a voicemail of somebody who I don't think likes Jim. Yeah, here.
What's going on, everybody? I'm convinced that Jim from Lakeland is not actually Jim from Lakeland, but he is 100% Wallace Shawn from Toy Story, Princess Bride, and the Tony Danza classic, She's Out of Control. That is all. You're not fooling nobody.
And then he has a little inverb. Did you hear it?
Yeah. Little tiny N-word.
I'm convinced that all of our listeners have gastrointestinal issues like we do.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they're all drinking Mountain Dew, carbonated drinks, soda, burp crazy.
Yeah. It's all trash in the inside. Yeah. And outside.
Were you starting to sing Chicken Fried by the...
No, I was saying Chicken Fries because that's what Norm had for lunch.
Chicken Fries.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about that damn song by the Zach Brown band, Chicken Fried. Remember that?
No.
Doesn't Norm work from home?
I believe so.
If I worked from home, I would be embarrassed to go to fast food restaurants and come home and eat. I still get like that. If I have a day off here and let's say Andrea has to work and I'm still off, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's something about it. It's psychology. I don't know what the psychology around it, but I feel like a trash person if I drive up to McDonald's and get a hamburger and then drive home and eat it alone. I feel horrible.
I love it.
So I'll just find something, I'll starve myself. I would rather starve than that. Like I'll be like, I'm so hungry, but I can't be a trash person.
Yeah. You can't. You're a grown adult. Don't leave your house. Go to McDonald's
and then come home and like that's the only place you go all day
on a Wednesday.
Uber Eats or DoorDash.
No, don't.
Oh, that's even worse. Don't Uber Eats McDonald's.
Yeah.
I've done it once.
You know what? I'm proud
if
of you
you're
for
drunk,
doing it once.
okay,
Try everything
hold on.
once.
Yeah.
Okay, because
Try everything
Oh, yeah,
once.
I was drunk.
Apparently, a lot
That's
of...
fair, then.
Yeah.
A lot
my birthday.
Yeah, that's fine.
Game on.
You're allowed to do it if you're drunk.
Okay.
You
get a pass if you're drunk.
Of course, I eat fast food drunk.
I mean, that's what you have to eat, right? Soak up all that alcohol.
Yeah, every once in a while.
I don't think it works like that, but that's what I tell myself.
Yeah, of course.
I don't think it soaks anything.
The science is not there. But we will say that to make ourselves feel better. Yes.
In my 20s, I used to do it all the damn time. You know, it was like
it was
best drunk food.
I like Taco Bell.
Taco Bell. It's like,
I mean,
that's one of my go-to drunk.
If I have my druthers, I want Gringos. And man, this is a hot take. In the moment, that's going to take a little too long. In the moment, getting a custom-made taco by a real man that like he's back there and he's grilling it and doing the thing. You know what I mean? Like normally I'm not driving. I need my wife to drive me through stuff. I'm like, just give me a and I do that.
I have now
I don't want to be in Gringos drunk. I look like a fool.
You are allowed to Uber Eats or DoorDash or whatever McDonald's breakfast. All right? I've added that.
I disagree with that.
What?
Okay, my stipulation being because I've
drunk in the morning?
No, I've now encountered multiple people because I've made that proclamation before.
It's the worst thing you can eat, though, because it's instant diarrhea.
Why are you Uber Eats or like getting your fast food delivered, ultimate laziness? And I found that multiple people have told me they've done it for breakfast.
Chigardi in our Twitch chat room.
I have to allow that now just because it's somehow popular.
An all-time low has been hit. Chigardi in our Twitch chat room says, and I'll quote, "We've been door dashing Wawa."
No, sir.
You should be. You should be arrested and executed in the town square.
Hold on now.
That's bad.
What do you order? I need to know the order.
That's a gas station, man.
I will say
that's a gas station.
My DoorDash account did get hacked, and someone did order $35 worth of Wawa.
That's true. I was here when that happened
in Philadelphia.
I saw that come through.
I have their phone number and address. I'm going to dox them.
Did you try and call them?
We were going to do it on the show. Actually,
do it.
If you, there's one thing on these new, there's a new feature on DoorDash or Uber Eats or whatever.
I've never used it.
Where,
oh man, I'm dumb old man.
Where if you order something, it will pop up like, hey, do you want them to stop at Wawa or at 7-Eleven on your way to pick up whatever else? And then I have found myself going like it'll pop up and I'm like, oh, 7-Eleven.
Oh,
and
then use one Jolly Rancher sucking candy.
And, but you can't. I think you may have to go through a process. But I wanted to get White Claw on the way, but I couldn't find it as an option.
ABC delivery, bro.
Yeah, dude.
No, but this was just. Do you want to get this on the way? So I was checking to see if I can get White Claw, but there may be some.
I have never used DoorDash or Uber Eats. Maybe DoorDash once, but I've certainly never used Uber Eats.
Yeah,
because Andrea puts her foot down. It has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
It has everything to do with my wife. She puts her foot down, and this is where I feel like at times she becomes overly organized or too logical.
Yeah.
Because she'll say, it's just faster for me to go get it. It's just easier for me to go get it.
Yeah,
it is going to
listen.
take a
If
while.
And most of the time, she's right.
I don't want to be a lazy
Yeah,
POS.
here the problem is me and my husband are both drunk, so that's our only
Right, she
option.
doesn't drink. You're right.
Not even drunk when I don't want to leave the house. Like I've Uber Eats a Mike's sub from
Jersey Mike's?
Jersey Mike's before,
man.
and it was like $18 or whatever.
Holy smokes!
Just because I'm too
Money bags over here.
I was just too lazy. Well, I've gotten to a status in my life where like $5 or $6.
They call him $18 Mike sub. Yeah,
it doesn't move. It doesn't move the needle. Listen. I worked hard.
$18.
I've worked
Here's my
hard.
needle.
I've worked hard my whole
Really?
life. I'm almost 40 years old. I wore a clown suit for a long time. I got to the point where $5 or $6 will not sway
it's
my
not
decision.
a good idea, but he's going to do it.
If you think that's rich, that's rich is subjective.
No, it's not rich.
Not
It's
rich,
It's
just
waste of
your-
money.
It
but
is a waste of money, but wasting $5 or $6 doesn't move my
Everybody
needle
does it in
at this
some way or
point
the other,
in my
depending
life.
on whatever they do.
I spend too much money on alcohol.
I do feel guilty, and I feel like a POS.
I got an ABC delivery coming today.
Yeah.
I don't need any more alcohol. I have a whole cabinet full of whiskey.
But it is fun to get ABC delivery. It is kind of fun.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. You know what I really like?
It's a little gift.
I like it when they put it in the back of my truck. Like the touchless.
Oh, you do the pickup?
Sometimes,
Oh.
yeah. I'll pull up and then I just pop the
No,
truck
I
and
just
then
sit
they
at my
just walk
house.
out and they set everything in my car and I just shut it and then I'm like, tack, tack. I just tap or I hand them like a tip and I drive away. It's awesome.
Can we all agree that the best thing to come out of this pandemic, if we're looking at the bright side, is that now all delivery drivers, when it comes to food, just leave it at your door. And there is no more interaction with them.
I wish I could agree with you, but I don't get any delivery.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm telling you now.
Nothing benefits me from this pandemic.
It's they now have all adopted the leave it at your door.
Unless it's alcohol. Yeah.
Unless I'll show your ID.
Why can't
but
they leave it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, you got to show your ID. But I'm saying now everybody just leaves at your door, and it's so much better.
Yeah.
And it makes me scream.
Unless you have a storm door. And then they put it right in front of the door and you
That's
smash your drink into the ground.
The old storm door.
I do that too. Yeah, I got the storm door, and every time I knock.
You got to leave it open.
Yeah, I have to open my garage and walk around
No.
because I'll knock. One time I knocked the top, and then it spilled sauces everywhere.
Oh,
And,
my God. My
Not
Jason's
the
mom
sauces.
sauce.
By the way,
Hugh Magoo sauce?
how?
When you spilled smack my ass and call me Sally sauce everywhere.
I guess no one really cares, but it's just like leave it just to the just to the right.
If
just,
I have drinks, I put one drink in front of the door, then a couple feet later, I put the other drink, then a couple feet later, I set a series of traps for you. Almost like a Rube Goldberg of you getting out of your own home.
Although
I'm the Jigsaw food delivery.
You know what's weird is that pizza has almost regressed back to the original where they'll stand there and hand it to you. Where
I wonder if it's for the tip.
Well, now it's all digital tip.
So you tip on the app?
Yeah, you tip on the app.
It's sealed.
I haven't ordered pizza in so long.
It's got the sticker. Like all pizzas now, if you get it from a chain, they have some sort of sticker on it, like to ensure that somebody didn't right before they delivered it start coughing Corona all over it.
But I think like just from that's the way they always did it. It's now like some of them have gone back to standing and waiting. They don't leave it there.
I get the dumb old man now, the sad old man.
Yeah. Which I don't care, but it's like
no, I do
just
care.
leave it and leave like everybody else does now.
Well, it's because it's flat. I feel like, and when you put it flat, it's almost like putting a doormat down. You almost need like a little table outside your house for pizzas, like a pizza table.
Do you have a Ring doorbell or anything where you can talk to them and tell them to just leave it there? That's what my husband does.
I mean, well, it's like that's
God,
for
he is
me.
an old man.
Yeah.
My God, he gets on his doorbell like, put the pizza down.
Yeah.
Put the pizza down.
You filthy animal.
Yeah.
If I'm
Keep
standing,
that
I won't even look open the window or whatever. If someone rings the doorbell, I'll just open the door. Like I'm not.
I open it fast.
God.
I don't care who it is. You know,
I pull it open real fast. Yes.
Hello?
But
What do you need?
No way, I hide.
Why?
I hide too.
So
I hide from everybody.
in all the like the other delivery services, you don't have to sign anything, right? And then
Well, that's been a confusion of mine for years. Remember, it used to be you had to sign for everything. And then it got to a point where they're like, some places they're like, yeah, the transaction's under $25. You don't have to sign.
Right.
And I'm like, when did that happen?
Well, they always will make you sign. It's like every day at the smoothie place. When I buy my smoothie, it comes out like sign. I just push a dot.
God.
Well, I just push a dot.
You got to sign for a smoothie? That's ridiculous.
Well, my credit card.
Well,
it's a credit card transaction.
It's got its testosterone in it, so it's like kind of a drug cocktail.
The pizza delivery service, it was like you pay through credit card or whatever online, and then you add the tip. Even like I'm saying, pre-pandemic, when it used to be like most people were just paying online anyway, they would always make you sign the receipt.
Yeah,
and then it all change, and all the other delivery service, they just leave at your door. There's no signing anything.
Right.
So
like I could call online.
What happened?
I could call online to like a Chinese restaurant, and I can get like $80 worth of food, and they'll just come and put it in front of my door.
Yeah,
and they don't sign nothing.
Yeah. So what? Then why is the pizza places? Because
I've told you
the bottom of this.
This has been confusing
you
for
heard
years.
about this one?
I have been confused.
Hold on. Is this passive aggressive again? Your enthusiasm makes it seem like you're bullying me.
Your enthusiasm makes it seem as if you're bullying me.
Because you're like, oh, that's super interesting. It's like when I tell my wife when she starts telling me about some meme or yeah.
That's hilarious.
I'm just picking up on it. So is it that the pizza companies have a system that it's hard to change?
It's antiquated to change it. No, they can change it.
And it should be easy to change because every other food delivery place is doing it, so why the hell aren't you doing it?
What if I say no? What if they go, and you can sign this one? And I go, I'm not signing that. I don't know what that is.
I think they need a signature. They need to come back with a signature.
What if I ask them that? They probably don't know either. What if I say, why am I signing this? And they're like, well, I don't know. It's the pizza rules.
Yeah, well, I would be like, I'm just going to sign it in the car. I'm just going to write a line because no one checks your signature. It's stupid. Like there's no and I've never actually signed my signature on anything that stupid as like a small transaction.
Well, car dealers do it too. It's also like, well, when car dealers do it, it's not binding at all. It's just a pressure technique to get you to buy stuff. They'll be like, well, sign initial here and make sure we talked about this. I'll get you on the record here. And that's meaningless.
Well, also, it's even meaningless that I would imagine very rarely, as maybe never, that they'll go back and verify if that is your actual signature on some document. Like, what scenario would that ever happen?
Nobody ever does that.
No, but even if like a big enough like a car or something. Like, I feel like you were in there. They have surveillance footage of you in there signing something. So even if, like, it's the old joke of I signed Donald Duck, so now I'm not, I have no responsibility for anything I signed because I signed a fake name.
Right.
It's like whatever you signed, that is the legal. Even if you write an X, your legal marker was that at this point in time, and it doesn't matter if it's your name or not. Right.
Right. That is what.
So according to lifehacker.com,
where I get all my news.
For most online purchases, all you need is your credit card number and the CVV code. But pizza delivery is different. Your credit card details secure the order, but it is usually not processed until the face-to-face transaction takes place. Don't know why. It doesn't say why. Why just pizza?
Because they probably built some system before, but when that was the only thing being delivered.
It's Pizzagate.
Well, I'm saying, like,
it is.
We were forced into, like, Uber and DoorDash started becoming popular, but then it exploded when the pandemic, right?
Yeah, it was greatly aided by the.
But even back then, even before the pandemic, you didn't have to sign.
No, not for Chinese food. Like if I'd order
not
Chinese,
for anything.
No, I'd do Chinese food delivery right here. The guy would walk down the street, he'd bring it over, and there'd be no signing. He'd just hand me the food. And thank you, buddy.
Yeah, and then before the
might read it. He might go, Chinese delivery, and then go like fried rice. Be yep. All right, thank you.
So let's remember before the pandemic, when you ordered Uber Eats or food delivery, they would give it to you by hand.
Yeah.
And then the only thing that changed, because you would still pre-tip them and everything like that, so they weren't waiting for a tip or anything because it was all through the app. Even pre-pandemic.
Are they interacting with the app?
Well, yeah, because they are the ones, like, when you put your order in, it's just like a regular Uber or whatever. It goes out there, and then if you're accepting orders or if you're open and not currently on a delivery or whatever, then you have the option to take that order or not. So, I guess, and then also you'll see what the tip is because that's all done even before someone even takes your order. So when you finish paying, you putting the tip in to the order before someone even accepts it. So you're pre-tipping before you even know the driver.
Right.
Yeah, and then so the driver just picks it up. And now that has caused, in a couple times, and probably just because of crazy demand, where they don't give a damn. And like I've seen them drive around, like, where are you going? Like they'll go the opposite way. And then like I know they'll deliver multiple orders and stuff, but it's taking me like one time an hour and 40 minutes to get an order because this guy was an idiot and like he getting lost. And then he was sitting in a parking lot. I was watching him for a long time. I'm like, what are you doing?
I know what you're doing.
And then he just dropped on my door and hauled ass. Now I know I could go and write some email to DoorDash, or I'm sure they'd give me some percentage off my next order or whatever.
Credit or something.
But it didn't. I was like, screw it. I ignored, whatever. Went on with my day, but I tipped that guy $5, and he was horrible. So I was like, but out of all the other times, it's like, a couple bad things, but for the most part, this seems to be working well, and it's got to be better for those people because they just go drop at the door and haul ass. But then I wonder how many times they drop it off at the wrong door.
A lot.
Or how, like, if that causes a problem because...
Yeah, well, after a while, I mean, that'll all get back to the restaurant, and... Yeah, absolutely. I think it would.
But it's all the third-party thing, so it's a different person most of the time.
Yeah,
and
they'll
so
give
it's
you
like,
a credit.
Yeah. And you get bad ratings.
Sometimes these restaurants, hate these type of services because it takes, especially if it's like, I don't want to say fancy, but let's say it's like a handcrafted versus like a, like getting. Even local chains, like getting DoorDash or something like that, I think is fine. But like there are some mom and pops that just don't like it because they don't think the quality of delivery is well represented, because they're too big.
It also they'll have to pay more because of the percentage or whatever. But you have to be on that service because you're turning down a ton of money if you're not, and especially now you have to be in all services because that's how. People have been.
I'm with Chigardi on this too. Like I like pre-tipping as well. Like I like when I'm getting like food. I like to be able to like maybe because she's saying it like it could impact the driver's attitude. Even going, I think it probably does.
It may because everything's pre-tipped. That used to work when it was the standard to post-tip. And I remember I made the joke about pre-tipping your guide if you're doing like an excursion or something like that because they'll give you a better experience. But now that everything is pre-tipped and that's how it's been for a long time,
I agree.
They're so used to it they don't even care anymore. So it's like the fact that someone tipped them a lot, I bet they barely even look at it. They just get the order, go drive it off. Most people are tipping. I don't like how they put 15%, 20%, 25%.
Yeah.
I'm like 25%. Who's tipping 25% on their food order? For delivery.
A lot of people, especially right now during the pandemic, a lot of people have to do that because they lost their jobs.
I was doing it like
jobs. There's a million jobs.
When everyone was getting laid off last year.
Now it's changed though.
But so now you're reeling it back into 15%.
No, I don't even. I do $5
though. I was hitting the 25. Yeah, because it was pandemic time.
What happened? Money bags, $18 sub over here. I'm holding out on the driver.
There was an overwhelming...
Guess what? Jersey Mike's got the money. The driver doesn't.
There was an overwhelming thing like, hey, tip your delivery guy at the beginning of the pandemic. That is over now.
Norm says he's 25% all day.
25%?
I still always tip 20, and during the pandemic,
that's for service. A delivery is $5.
I do 20. I do just hit the. I'm just telling you what I do. I hit the 20%. I'm just telling you what I do. You can argue with me and yell at me, but I'm telling you what I do.
Now you know how I feel, Dave.
No. If I'm at a restaurant or if I get
at a restaurant's different. I tip 25%.
Or if we get a pizza, I don't do $5. I hit the 20% button. I'm telling you what I do. If we order tacos. Whatever, I'm 25. I hit the 25. I have been. Probably now lately I've been more 20 because
you pay too much.
I'm easing back into the lack of the mask and stuff. I got a vaccine now.
I mean, if you're just dropping it off at my door and picking it up, I feel like that $5 tip is fine.
If I order like an Every Plate or a HelloFresh, they're technically delivering me food, but it's FedEx. Do I tip that?
No, I don't tip them. That's like getting
tipping a mailman.
That's like getting a uterine mesh in the mail from Amazon.
Okay.
I don't even know if they sell those on there. It just was
I
the
don't think
example
so.
that popped into my brain.
All right.
You got an email for me?
Sure.
This is good.
Gabriella Plants. Hey,
Yeah.
Tom, Dan, and Sam. I cannot say enough great things about Gabriella Plants. I recently made my first purchase with them and opted to pick my new plant babies up since their shop is so close to my house. To start, their prices are fantastic, not to mention the Tom and Dan discount on top of it. Previously, I have purchased all of my plants at Luca's and some trendy local plant shops, and the prices are nearly half of what I've previously paid. Their selection is also fantastic, and if you email them about a plant on your wish list, they will quickly reply with whether or not they anticipate having it in stock. That's cool to know.
That is really cool.
And this is all before even getting my plants. Once I got them, I was blown away. They were way bigger and more beautiful than I ever imagined for what I paid for, and they looked absolutely perfect. I could also tell that they were perfectly cared for. I bought another plant at a big box store because Gabriella doesn't anticipate having it in stock, and although this plant prefers to be dry, it was soaking wet and had water sloshing all over. Gabriella knows their plants and gives them expert care, ensuring the best.
Plant
Thank you
nerds,
for
yeah.
introducing Gabriella Plants to me, and I cannot wait to fill my house up with plants.
They are plant nerds, and they're the nerds you need to talk to. They're cool
Yep.
dudes.
Use promo code Tom and Dan at checkout, 15% off, or use our sponsor, spend $159 and get a free Gabriella plant mailed to you.
Yep.
Any of our sponsors, just fill out the form at tomanddan.com and you'll get a free plant. It's like a $30 value. And the plant world, as far as like if you deep dive into it, because I follow some like a bunch of plant social media stuff, and there's like these plants that are variegated, which means like there's somehow had some genetic anomaly and they're like half white, or their leaves are like basically they get a white stripe, or half of them turn white or whatever.
Yeah.
It
like
becomes
Busdecker's hair.
Yeah. It becomes super rare, and then the value of the plant skyrockets to like people are paying $600 for a variegated monstera or whatever it is, some philodendron that's variegated. And I talked to Shane Malloy from Gabriella, and that's like he sells variegated plants, and people will pay an insane amount of money extra for that because of the rarity.
Absolutely.
Even though it's basically the plant has a form of, like, you could say cancer or whatever.
They do the same thing with dogs, man. Like, it has a particular look.
A pattern?
Well, no, I was going to say, it's dwarfism.
Oh, yeah,
and they do it a lot, and it's like, is it really hurting the dog's lifespan? Well, yeah, it kind of will, but it's really cool. And
look how smushy this dog's face is.
Right, I know.
We bred it with his sister for 10 years.
For Gabriella, tonight is the plant drop. And meaning tonight is when they do the email to let you know what they're getting. So if you're not on there, sign up right now, and then you'll get the cool email that a lot of our plant nerds get, and they go through and they detail what they got in, and when it's available, and it's really, really neat. And they do it every Wednesday night. So check that out.